It's not good. Is my screen showing black on your end in the chat room, or do you see the morning show on it?
No, I see the morning show cover page.
Oh, you do? Oh, I see it black on my end. Okay. Well, if you see it, that means it should be good. All right.
Put it in the chat room and I'll see if I can see it there.
All right. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Market Prep. I hope you guys are having an amazing morning. Hope you guys had an incredible day yesterday. We're just checking a couple of things here. We'll get rocking and going in a second. Peter, I still don't see it. Do you see it in the chat room or no?
It says that you're sharing a screen, but I don't see it.
Looks black. All right, let me reset the chat room, friends. On YouTube, you should be perfectly fine. I'm going to restart the chat room here and see what is going on. Happy Friday, friends, on YouTube, and we should be live on X as well. We'll restart the chat and be back with you guys in just a second here. Let's get the elevator music going.
Are we allowed to do that? Is that copyrighted? Am I going to get in trouble?
That's a great question.
I don't even know.
Copyrighted?
I'm singing it. I'm not playing it. Anyways, I don't want to get in trouble.
Yeah, that's a good question.
We won't even mention the name of the program so that we don't. What the heck? How was it done already? Anyways, yeah, just give it a second, guys, and we'll get started here. You know what? This fits with the morning. It's just one of those mornings so far, and it looks like that you know, this technical problems just go right with the theme. Frankly, I still hear our music in the background.
Yeah, I still have it there.
Okay.
Let's see if I can get it going. The audio worked perfectly fine. It's just the video. It's not going to the chat room. Let's try it again. Okay, I think that worked now. And I think that's working.
There you go. See it now.
Looks good now. Just need a refresh. Browsers are very funky. And it's not, what happens is when you're streaming to a browser, if Firefox, Edge, it do a little update, it could screw up the whole thing. And those updates usually are not like user updates. It could be updates just that they make in the back end. It could screw up the whole thing. YouTube, on the other hand, they're very consistent and they have a very tight down process when it comes to streaming. It always works, right? There's no issues there. But yeah, Peter, latest and greatest, what's going on, my friend? Good morning to you. I see we have a couple of things. Let's go straight to that, and then we'll go to our gappers list this morning.
I wanted to share because the technology is not going well. Actually, you know what? We're past their time. We'll come back to this. Let's do the economic calendar first, and then I'll tell you about my crap of a morning. We do have some economic data that has come out here. As you can see, we're waiting on the producer price index. The producer price index information. And let me just update it here since it did come out, and it looks like we're better than forecast, 0.5% versus the 0.3 forecast. Interesting, the core was up 0.8% versus the 0.3, which is significantly higher, and that pushes, of course, the year over year up to 2.9%. So, all better than expected. The market, though, is going the other way. Despite that being better, the numbers are dropping, and I think that's largely due to some of the earnings that we've had. We'll talk about those because there were some, some disappointing earnings. Anyways, they weren't terrible, but they weren't as exciting as people were hoping for. So. Later this morning, we do have the Chicago Business Barometer at 9:45, and then 10 a.m. construction spending. Once again, as with most of these numbers, they don't usually have a big market impact. There's very few numbers that the market actually reacts to, and these days it seems to be fewer and fewer. So there you go. That's what we got.
All
So
right, sounds good, Peter.
yeah.
Quick look at our gappers list, which I got locked out from, so we'll get back in. Quick look at our gappers list in just a second as it loads up right there. There it is. Some stuff in the green, more in the red this morning. Wow, a lot in the red. First time I'm looking at the list. This is massive. So tons of stuff in the red. I see Rigetti, I see Quantum, and I see some of our usual suspects, Microsoft, everything sliding this morning. So we'll dive into some of the top names here that are leading the way, plus some other ones that might be towards the bottom that are probably higher quality names, so maybe our usual suspects. But yeah, we'll get into all of that. But Peter, you had some technical issues this morning. What's going on?
Nah, well, technical like human issues. No, I went for a run this morning. Friday is one of the days where I typically go for a run, and it was typical, local weather. It was about -10. It wasn't that bad. So I kip myself up and I go out for a run. I'm feeling good. I'm like, I'm gonna run for an hour today. I'm gonna go for an hour run. So in an hour, I should be able to get some good range on that. I go out 2 minutes away from my house, the very first corner at the next main street, because it had snowed lightly. I guess I didn't see the ice. Feet go out from under me, land right on my hip, right on the ice, and somehow I'm in a puddle. I'm like, it's -10. How is there even a puddle out here? So not only is there ice, but it's also a puddle, and that just gets me annoyed. So now I'm soaking wet, and I'm like 2 minutes away from the house, and I'm like, you know what? Never mind. It was the salt. Yes, I understand that. But anyways, so now I'm running. I'm wet. I'm frustrated, and of course that probably meant that I was running too hard. Again, so I was doing good. 10 minutes later, my calf pops. I just feel it. It pops. And I just
Ah,
immediately, I'm just like, I start hobbling. And so
yeah,
here I am. You might notice I'm sitting for the first time in a long time. I got my giant ice pack that I'm putting my leg up on.
yeah.
And yeah, I'm not happy. So, 10
That
minutes
is
away from the house, it
yeah.
it took me half an hour for me to limp my way back home.
Oh.
And yeah, that was my morning. And I'm just grumpy now. I'm grumpy, grumpier than usual. My wife was commenting the other day. She says, you make a lot of comments now. You seem to be unhappy with things. And I said, yeah, but I don't really mean it. I'm just having fun with it. She says, yeah, but I think it's starting to stick. And
there's
I'm like,
something
uh-oh.
there's something underlying in there that might be
Yeah.
brewing
And,
the true colors
and
are
she's
are
she's she's like, you actually do seem a little grumpier. And I'm like, am maybe I'm just commenting more on things. She's like, no,
yeah,
I'm worried that the grumpy old man thing
it's
it's
coming.
starting to
It's coming.
stick. And I'm
Oh
like, all
man, we
right. My wife has called me out. I think I got to be careful here. So, uh,
gotta watch it here, Peter. I gotta watch it
yeah,
closely.
yeah.
Oh
Anyways,
boy. Oh man, that is a
there you
rough
go.
start to the morning. Hopefully we have a better start here in
Yeah,
the market, my friend. But yeah, it's rough, Peter.
yeah.
That's rough.
I hope
Hopefully
so.
you feel better soon, man. All right, let's get into it. CDIO leading the gap up list this morning. It is a 1.7 million shares float, and as you can see here, guys, we are up 21%, 2.9 million shares traded. So as you can see, got some good volume. Lower flow stock daily looks all over the place. Was high as high as 55 back in last year, maybe 2024, and then today we're just seeing some action on this, Peter. So probably some volume, some news, but again, low flow stock. Be very careful with this one.
Yeah. This is Cardio Diagnostic Holdings. They had sort of a press release announcement where I'm trying to figure out exactly what happened here. The statement is that it builds directly on a sharp run that began after the company's investor conference call, where executives detailed advances in reimbursement pathways and commercialization roadmap for its AI-powered epigenetic blood tests targeting cardiovascular disease. So that's all stuff that the market loves to hear. I'm trying to figure out what a reimbursement pathway is. I I don't think it means like cash reimbursement. I think it means that whatever it's doing medically is improving somebody's cardio pathways. I don't know. Look, it's good. I guess. The stock is moving up. These biotechs, that man, they are just crazy to try and trade. I mean, we got 2.9 million shares traded today on, as you can see if you look at the daily, right? This on certain days right after that announcement, they spiked up to get about 50, 60 million shares. They were up to 76 million shares a couple of days later. So they're just they're popping again today. I personally don't like trading these, but this one, looks like it's got these continued legs out of this news. So if you're into is it a low float? Yeah, if you're into the low float, low price moving stocks, this could be the one for you.
Yeah, yeah, there
Results
it is.
may vary. Consult your
Results.
doctor.
Absolutely, they may vary big time. So careful with that one, friends. Again, I personally don't like it. I'm not gonna trade it. Let's look at this other one, XYZ. XYZ here this morning. I feel like we looked at this ticker in the past. Hold on a second. XYZ. There we go. Yeah. These guys are up 20% this morning. 1.1 million shares traded. Again, big pop for them. Float on this one is actually massive. 533 million shares float. So pretty big here. Big push up last night after hours. Maybe earnings or so, Peter, but you're seeing a little bit of action this morning.
Yeah, remember C3 AI yesterday? They had earnings yesterday, and they actually missed their numbers and then announced that they were cutting 26% of their staff and didn't mention anything. Right? Their C3 AI, their ticker was AI. And they did nothing about saying that they were cutting staff because they found new efficiencies and they're using AI tools. Remember, we had that whole conversation yesterday? Block was listening, and they did it right. So Block actually had a good quarter, so that's good, right? They beat their expectations, but not by much. What really made the difference is they announced that they're cutting over 10,000 staff. So, sorry, from 10,000 staff to 6,000 staff. So that's 40% of their workforce. But why are they cutting that staff? Because they're restructuring, because they're making an AI native shift. So they claim that their AI efficiencies don't need as many people. In fact, they need 40% less people. Look, whether that's true or not, whether that's the real story, I don't know, but that's the way you do it. That's how you make an announcement when you're cutting staff, and you just say, yeah, it's AI that's taken over these jobs. Again, doesn't matter if it's right or not. That's what the market wants to hear. And look at their stock. So
yeah, what's that? Where the other company that was yesterday can learn from this? Their PR has to take a page from this book here. Just perfectly
it's not that tough.
Well done.
Come on, man.
Yeah,
seems like we can figure it out. That's pretty obvious.
That exactly, and we're not even in marketing. I mean, it doesn't take a genius. Like, come on. Oh my goodness. All right. And this is SQ. This used to be SQ, right? The Block. Is that they changed their ticker name?
Yeah. This is Block. Yeah, you're right. This is.
And then prior to them being named Block, they were named something else. I mean, they've done a lot of changes. I think SQ wasn't Block, or were they always Block? I don't remember them being always Block.
No, they were called Square before.
Yes. Okay. All right. So we're matching. We're connecting the links here. Okay. All right. So a lot of changes here. So, all right, there it is, guys. Peter, you're gonna have this on your list.
I don't know, because this is a strange one for me. I feel like it feels like it's a good potential opportunity. I like the volume. I like the movement. I actually sort of like this news too, and I think the market could catch on to it. But something I over the years haven't had good luck trading this when it was SQ or and ever since it shifted to XYZ, it's not traded very well. So I'm not sure, Carlos. I mean, I feel like I should put it on the list, but I don't have a lot of faith it's going to give us good trading opportunities. So let's do it. Yeah. Let's put it on there. It is a NYSE stock as well. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm going to put it on the secondary list, if anything. XYZ on the secondary list, and we'll see where it goes there. Right. XYZ. Jeez. Hard to type all of these. All right, there we go. XYZ. All right, friends, let's go to our gappers list. Next on here, AAOI is another one on deck this morning. These guys applied Let me read the rest of the name. Optoelectronics. So these
There
guys
you
are
go.
up
That's them.
17%. Yeah, 325,000 shares traded. Flow of a 65 million. Very light volume for the pre-market right now. At the moment, their day looks a lot better as far as movement. Also light volume as well throughout their daily candles. So again, not typically a big fan of this one. In the pre-market, Peter, does not look attractive at all for me this morning.
No, this one pops up almost every quarter. Not even some quarters it doesn't even show up. Look, the earnings palooza continues. We have all sorts of earnings. They beat their Q4 numbers. They guided their 2026 revenue above targets, and for the first time they're forecasting over $1 billion. So we'll see if they're able to get there. Yeah. So bottom line, it's good news. And I don't see much else. They didn't have any big deal announcements or customer plans or anything. It's just general earnings information. Trade it if you want. Probably not. I think. Again, tough to tell with some of these. There's a lot of these fringe earnings ones that you're like, you know what, maybe, but probably not.
Yeah, yeah. So, skip it for now. I see Mara is on here this morning, so they're green today,
Hmm.
up 12.4, 4.2 million shares traded. But the rest of their friends, or Mara's friends, are on the gap down. So they're doing something well today. Looks like earnings after hours got a nice little pop here, up 12%. They're maintaining this gap up. Let's see if they can hold that throughout the pre-market session and into the market open, Peter. But looking good right now. Might add this to the list. Let's see how it goes. What's your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I'm really surprised to see them gapping up. But again, it just goes to show how it's about the story you can tell about the future, that it's so much like the market values that so much more than what you've actually done. Right. And that even saying it out loud sounds ridiculous, but that's the way the market works. Doesn't matter what you've actually done. It matters what what you say you can do in the future. So what did they actually do? They didn't do that well. They missed their numbers. They had to take a $1.5 billion write down because of their crypto holdings, and that, like we've been talking about, crypto prices have been down. So all these big companies that put billions of dollars into their treasury strategies are underwater, and they're having to adjust for that. So Mara actually I'm surprised they took a write down, which means they must have liquidated something. But yeah, crypto's down again this morning here a little bit. But anyways, however, they told a wonderful story about the future and announced at the same time. So they did the old bait and switch, right? Things didn't go so well. We took a $1.5 billion write down. But don't worry about that. Look at this shiny thing over here. We've got a major infrastructure partnership with Starwood that's going to allow them to, create new environments for AI and hyperscaling. So, again, using the good buzzwords, they distracted the market successfully so far, the bright shiny thing, and yeah, here we are. So
Just sounds like to me, man, the faster you get off this boat, the less damage you're going to
I don't
take. Uh, so,
I don't know, man.
uh,
There's a whole weird. I saw this great video last night where they were talking, because the chairman and CEO of Mara Holdings is Fred Thiel. And you might know the name Thiel because we got Peter Thiel out there, who's a big angel investor, and big investor in lots of things, anyways, including a big backer of Sam Altman, who's the well, according to this video that I was watching, the big scammer who's behind OpenAI, because they went back in his history and his other deals, and basically he's promised lots of things that he's never delivered. His deal has always been, give me everything, give me data and access to all of society, and I'll make it all good. Just trust me. And he's never actually done it, and he's always managed to sell it off to someone else before he's ever had to deliver anything. So I didn't know much about Sam Altman, but watching this video, clearly the people putting it together are not fans. How accurate is that? I've got no idea, but it made me look at the market with different eyes this morning, I admit. So now I'm watching this, and again, the Ponzi scheme continues to grow, right? We've got all these AI companies feeding other AI companies. So Mara, backed by some of the big people behind AI out there in the market right now, still posts a massive loss on crypto, and yet the stock is up nicely this morning, 13%.
Interesting
Whatever.
stuff.
Let's see if we can make some money trading.
Interesting stuff.
Excellent.
All right,
Yeah.
let's see, friends. Let's go to Dell this morning. These guys are up after some action after hours last night here. You can see it up about 12%, 1.2 million shares traded. I wish the stock would trade much better, but again, they get very light volume throughout the daily, and their intraday action for me is brutal. So I usually never put them on the list, but maybe today, Peter, they got 1.2 million. Maybe today could be their day. But for the most part, I always don't consider them for a primary or even a secondary list. What's the latest and greatest?
They had earnings after the close. Again, one of the earnings crew here. They posted record $33.4 billion worth of revenue in the last quarter. Earnings per share $3.89, both of which beat the analyst forecasts. Both of which are driven by AI. So again, using the right words, talking the right talk for the market. Dell's a pretty slow mover. Like it's one of these tech stocks that never seem to just get the tech. I don't know. They were hot for like 10 seconds back when they were doing personal computers. Somehow they've successfully made the shift over to enterprise. Remember when it was Dell and like gateway computers? Like if you just
Yeah.
wanted a computer for your house, like those were the guys you went to because they would they would make them fast. They were sort of relatively cheap and cheerful computers. And Dell's completely changed, right? Most of their business now is heavy industry, large scale enterprise. I mean, there was a point in time, I know back in my tech days, you would never consider Dell for an enterprise computer. That would be like, it would be like putting a toy on the desk, and serious businesses would laugh you out. But Dell's all over the place now, and it has been for decades. So they've absolutely made the shift. Their website, of course, is focused on retail, but most of their business comes from enterprise. So, but somehow it has never caught with the market. I mean, just look at their stock price. Just go back over the years and look at this stock. And compared to a lot of the other tech companies, frankly, they just haven't seen. It seems like their equivalent, growth. So anyways, are we going to be able to trade it? I don't know. It looks okay. It's got 1.2 million shares. It does trade on the New York Stock Exchange, which is a little bit, less exciting, but it's a potential, Carlos. It's sort of like some of these others, right? I feel like it goes maybe on a secondary with XYZ, XYZ. That it's a maybe. I can't recall ever having traded it myself.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I remember using Dell for a work computer. The company would give it to us, and they gave us these bags. Their bags were really good, Peter. Like I got a couple of bags from work that they gave me with the laptop, and I'm
Yeah.
like, this is a really nice bag. So they make good bags. If their business goes downhill, they could just focus on making bags. I think
Make it
the few I
bags.
had were
Well,
very
and
good.
look,
Yeah.
in full disclosure, I mean, I'm running Dell equipment here. I've got a Dell
Yeah.
Alienware that I run this off of. I've got a Dell laptop. They just they gave me what I need at the right price. So I don't know. It's
Yeah. Who knows? So where they can go. All right. As far as trading Dell, guys, if you like it, definitely keep it on your list there. I just don't think I'm going to trade it well. It is in play today. There's no question. We're going to see some movement out of this. It's got good volume compared to what they normally do. Again, it's just I don't see myself trading it this morning. Let's look at next here we have Figs, and then we'll look at Netflix. Figs this morning, FIGS. Let's take a look at Figs and what we got going on over here. We're up 12.3 this morning, 270,000 shares traded. Big day yesterday looks like compared to what they normally do. If you look at their daily, very small dailies, but yesterday had a nice breakout from 11 to about 1250, and today looking to continue that. But man, just no volume. no volume whatsoever. And let me see how they did yesterday. If we look at yesterday, they moved up, but look, there's just no volume whatsoever. And if if you haven't seen a stock trade with this type of volume, you got to look at it. It is just impossible for me to day trade. So I'm gonna leave this alone, Peter. I don't expect it's gonna be great today. Any news on it that might be worth knowing?
It looks like they had earnings yesterday, beat their numbers. They're hold on. God, every once in a while these sneezes, and it's only when I'm talking. Something about me talking. Anyways, I wasn't familiar with the company, so I went to their website and looked it up. They seem to like make scrubs. They're trying to make fashionable scrubs. They're making scrubs look cool. Of course, they have them all on like super skinny model like people. So I want to know what these weird jumpsuit things look like on real sized humans. But anyways, that's I guess not what they're selling on their website. So I don't usually fashion apparel companies don't get volume. They just Wall Street does not care to play in this industry. You can go public, and if you're selling clothes, yeah, you're not going to get any good price appreciation from the market. So I don't even know why you bother, frankly, if you're a clothing store.
Why you bother? They should be partnered up with somebody else. It should be like a Unilever, like under a big brand, right? I think that would make sense.
I mean, really, you can look almost any. I mean, there's all sorts of them, right? That out there, apparel stores and that they get no attention, no growth. They rarely move. It's not a good day trading, so we can move on. Anybody, a doctor or a nurse out there that has some Figs apparel, I can't say see, it's all seems to be nursing gear.
Yeah, I can't say any of the nurses I visited has wearing anything looking like this.
No,
I have not seen that.
Can I just ask? Basically, you said it, how many nurses do you visit?
Well, I got the annual check last month. Not many, but
Okay.
oh, actually, no. For me, not many, but for my kids, it's like not anymore though. But it used to be like every other 6 months, but now it's a lot less now. But they never show up or anything like this. I've never seen anything like this. But yeah, so interesting.
We got to get Noah Wiley, post modeling your stuff, and then you're in. Now you're doing good. Hottest doctor in the world. Never been a doctor, but anyways.
Wouldn't that be what's the lady from what's that show? Grace something? What's
Grey's Anatomy?
Yeah, well, that get them to do it. Then you really
well. I think his new show has eclipsed that. So, but The Pit. Yeah, do you watch The Pit? Awesome show, by the way.
Really? No, I have.
Oh yeah, it's brutal. Every show is an hour in the ER, so like the whole season is just one shift. Every season's one shift in the ER. It's intense, man. It's intense. It's well done though.
Oh, nice. All right, friends, here we go. Let's continue here. You guys are funny in the comments. Love it. Good stuff. All right, here. Netflix. So Netflix, we got something on this finally. So let's take a look at Netflix today. They are actually up 8.8% up this morning. 4.8 million shares traded. You can see the daily here is reacting. So Peter, they're heading in one direction when it comes to WB, the situation.
They they pulled out.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
I see why you hesitated.
Yeah, it was in my head.
We're going the wrong path on this show. It's getting dark. It's getting very dark.
Yeah. Well, anyways, all right. You guys can make your own jokes. That's it. They've called off the deal. They basically said that enough is enough. To hell with you, Warner Brothers. If you can't make a deal with us, we're not playing the game anymore. We're taking our bat and our ball and we're going home. So they've terminated the Paramount. They've terminated their merger agreement with Warner Brothers after Paramount put in another deal that I guess Warner Brothers said that they were going to consider. So Netflix said that's okay. You know what? You want to be polyamorous? We're out. We don't want this relationship. So
Yeah.
there you go. It's the only pun I'll make on that. Anyways, off we go. So yeah, and it's interesting to see their stock price moving higher. Because I mean, they've been punished, right? Like, they hit a high of 140, almost 135. 134 it looks like, anyways, and they were down as low as 75. So they're making a little bit of a bounce back today. This could be in play. This is another one that could be in play today as people, as that uncertainty moves away. I feel like this was unfairly punished, and I we could see money come back into it. Maybe not. I could be wrong, but I'm gonna put it on my list for today.
Which one? Netflix?
Netflix, because I just want
Yeah,
to
yeah.
see what's gonna happen.
Yeah, they got
I
this
like
thing
the
off their
volume. We got
shoulder.
5
Yeah.
million shares this
Yep.
morning, so it's active. It's in play.
Yeah, I agree. And I don't know. So the question is, do they have to pay something by taking their deal off the table? Better choice of words. I was very careful. Thought about that before I said it. But it depends how they set things up, right? Like that happened to Elon Musk, right? If he would have pulled his deal off the table, remember when he bought Twitter, then it would have cost him like a whole bunch of losses and everything. So that was done differently. This one might have not been done that way. So I don't think they have to pay anything for this. I highly doubt it. So, but yeah, there it is. Netflix. I'm gonna add this to the list. But yeah, last time I saw a big one like that was with Twitter. If you guys remember that, when Elon said he was gonna buy it, then I think he tried to not do it, and they were like, "If you're not doing, you got to pay us this much because our investors aren't expecting this." It just got ugly. So,
I think that I don't know if they have to pay a penalty. I probably not at this point, because of like if they pulled out of the deal and it wasn't in an active competition, then that would be one thing. But the fact that they're pursuing another competitor, it's sort of like, you cheated first, so we don't.
right, you're right. There was no competition with Twitter. Nobody wanted to buy Twitter besides Elon, and yeah, you're right. You're right. And they took too long. Like
Do
Warner Brothers
do
took a
they? Rich
long
says that they
time.
do. Rich says that they do have to pay,
They do.
and and they have to pay. But you know what? Frankly, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter how much Netflix is paying. They're like, whatever. I'll hand over the cash just so I don't have to talk to you anymore, right? Like
Yeah, see, but that
I feel
that
like
that
at this
doesn't make
point,
sense. If you went looking for other offers, why do I have to pay you? I
I don't
offer
know.
you a
Whatever
deal.
this,
You went. Yeah, I'm sure it's gonna be something up with that. We'll see.
yeah.
We'll see. All right.
Well,
Nevertheless, I
anyways,
think I'm with you. I think it's in place today. I'm gonna add it to my list. Looks good this morning. They can finally move on and see what's next out
so
of this. So
yeah,
again,
we've got different opinion here because apparently there was roughly a $3 billion cancellation fee, but Ben is saying that Paramount says that they'll pay the cancellation fee, which would also make sense, right? So
wow, they want it that bad, huh?
if you've got
Okay.
the deal, you're gonna pay the fee, and then maybe that's why Netflix is fine. Then we're out. Yeah,
Wow.
so it's paid
They
by
really
Paramount.
want
Whatever.
that.
Look,
Yeah.
bottom line, it's Netflix is out, and their stock is rising. So we're looking for trading opportunities. Clearly, this is in play. Whatever the news is right now, and it said I'm going to be watching. Let's see what happens.
Yeah. All I know is we as consumers of TV are paying, I think it's like 30% more than what we used to get the same amount of value as fuck. Because now we're going to so many different places as opposed to just going to a cable box and just adding a channel. Now you got to go get the streaming subscription for everything else. It's just such a mess, man. Can't wait to go back to a regular cable box and I can just add whatever I need, one bill, and that's it. This is getting out of control. But it is what it is. Actually, we'll stop here, Peter. Here's our gap up list. We went through most of the stuff that was looking pretty good here, like Netflix and some other earnings as well. Anything else you like on this gap up?
Well, you started to mention HCTI. I was just looking at that. They didn't have a lot of volume. They have apparently launched. This is the company's called Healthcare Triangle. They've launched something called Quantum Nexus, which is being launched in Dubai to deliver AI-powered digital health solutions. They're putting that in place to help manage the anticipated increased cases because of Uber Air. I'm kidding. Kidding. That's not what's happening. It was another Dubai related thing. I wanted to get that joke out. Sorry. Um, That's not what's happening. Anyways, Dubai seems to be in the news. They've launched air taxi stuff. They've launched now AI powered digital health solutions. Things are moving in Dubai. But yeah, not something that's tradable. Gap up, you're asking about. How about Soundhound? We haven't talked about them in a while. SOUN. They're up almost 1% on some good volume this morning. Soundhound's one of those that when they're in play, they often get pretty good volume early on. They had earnings after the close yesterday. Mixed picture. They beat on revenue, missed bottom line earnings. Sort of a mixed picture. So they said that they're benefiting a little bit from comments from Jensen Huang, the CEO of NVIDIA, who said that their AI solutions will not cannibalize enterprise software, which is good for companies like SoundHound AI that relies on some of that software background. Let's see, we talked about Mara that's out there. A couple others, small things that had earnings this morning. Was it this morning? No, it was after hours yesterday. Rocket RKT. Here's one that we had looked at in the past. We haven't talked about them in a while. Rocket companies. Which is not what you think. It is not about rockets in space. It's a finance services company. Beat their numbers in quarter. We've got ADSK, Autodesk. Here's one that we were watching after hours yesterday in the chat room. Had earnings, beat their numbers on the quarter, and have some good prospects going forward. I guess everything else, Carlos, that I want to talk about is on the gap down list because most of the big stuff and the markets overall are actually gapping down. So we got a lot of stuff to talk about on that side. So we should jump right over there.
Yeah, let's do that. And right before we do so, friends, welcome to Mohammed. Join the Lambos and Garbage Truck family, my friend. Good to have you.
Hey, welcome.
So welcome. All right, let's take a look here. What's gapping down today? DUOL. This morning, we are down 27%. Ouch. So Duolingo is down 27%. 1.7 million shares traded. This normally doesn't trade very well, doesn't get a lot of volume, but today could be the day where it's in play because, man, we are seeing the drop here, Peter. So what's the latest and greatest and what is who's getting fired? This is almost getting fire material at this point.
Yeah. Où est l'argent? Where is the money? Où est l'argent?
Where is the money?
Anyways, Duolingo. Apparently, people are not using it as much as they anticipated. They missed their numbers in quarter, and they got a couple of downgrades this morning. So it's not looking good. They didn't even mention AI once in anything that they're doing. Surely this is an area where AI could add some benefit. Right? Couldn't an AI dynamically help you learn language much more effectively than tools? Come on, man. Get with the program. I mean, I don't care whether you're really using it or not, but it's
yeah.
Anyways, again, another opportunity lost. Duolingo. I'm not sure, Carlos. The volume looked great this morning. 1.7 million shares. It's a NASDAQ traded stock. I like how much it's gapping down. It feels like there's even more downside room to me. Keep in mind, of course, this is a stock that at one point, a mere, less than, almost a year, 10 months ago, anyways, was trading over $500. So, yeah, it's had some rough times.
Yeah, not good.
I think with more stuff out there, maybe not. It's a secondary at best. We've probably got some better targets, but it's not bad. Again, this is the problem when you get so many earnings. You get a lot of stuff that looks okay, and you just never know which of the pack is going to prove to be, the one or two that really, really move. Which is why, as usual, I go back to my old standbys. But I like this one.
Yeah. All right, friends. Secondary list, Peter, or are you going to have it on?
No, secondary for sure.
Secondary, right? Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. All right, so secondary list, it has some great volume, good movement this morning. This one could be fun today. We'll keep an eye on it. All right, continuing here, ZS or ZS from our Canadian friends. We are down 13.4 this morning, 313,000 shares traded. We've seen this many times on our list. Got more volume lately in the last couple of days. You can see the increase here on the daily, a little more action over to about 6 million. Still not great compared to what we normally trade, but definitely got somewhat more than what it usually gets. You can see how low it is for the most part. Like starting February, start to see a lot more volume. But on their daily, man, they have not been doing well. They were sitting at 325 or better, and better actually. And they're down at 145 and looking to go lower with 30% down this morning. So not a good look for them. What's driving them to the ground here?
Yeah, and it's a little perplexing because they actually had good numbers. They beat their numbers. They delivered 815 million worth of revenue. They beat their bottom line targets. They raised their guidance for the next quarter. Really, they've got this big project called Red Canary, and it seems like there's concerns over how effective they've got some churn, I guess, in this. I guess it's an acquisition, Red Canary MDR business. Anyways, and yeah, it's not that acquisition integration is not going as well as expected. As such, there's concerns over, as much as I guess it's Zscaler, right? Sounds better than Zscaler. Zscaler. Anyways, this is one that pops up on the list every once in a while, and it feels like the type of business we should be able to trade well. It just never gets the volume. Like its average daily is 3 million shares. It's too low, and even this morning we only have 300,000. So while it's in the right segment, it's not enough. Not enough.
Yeah. Yep. All right. This one we might like here. This is Coreweave is up next. These guys are down this morning. They're down at 11.8, and it's a stock that we like to watch. It can trade well. We've seen it do some pretty cool stuff in the past, where it can go on a nice run, get the volume. So that's always there. But today they're down 11.8, 1.8 million shares traded. Peter, I'm gonna watch these guys. I think they trade well. But any particular
Absolutely.
news pushing them lower?
Yeah, well, this was the biggest one of the earnings last night that we were keeping an eye on. You can sort of see where they dropped after hours after the earnings announcement. So, and they've been selling off pretty much ever since. They have mixed picture. They beat revenue but missed earnings. They announced they've got a $67 billion backlog. So again, sales backlogs are always good. 67 billion gives them quite a number of years of backlog. The problem is when you balance that. So the backlog is theoretical business, right? That they've got sort of in the pipeline, but they're only doing about $4 billion worth of business right now. So we have to keep that in mind. Coupled with the biggest probably fact out there is that they've got about $30 billion in debt. So they got an extremely high debt ratio, and that's got people a little concerned because their plan to achieve that business backlog and to earn it is to incur significantly more debt. So it's a little tough space here for Coreweave, and the market is telling them they don't really like what they're seeing on the balance sheet. So I like this, like you said. I think it's going to be on the list. We got to keep an eye on it, see what happens. It'll be interesting when the market opens here because this could go either way. I honestly don't know how overall, right, the deeper pockets feel. Clearly overnight we've seen it gapping down and moving down consistently. However, this is the type of stock we've seen, quite regularly that will, at the market open, recover a fair amount of this and pop right back up. Because again, the debt stuff isn't necessarily new. And if you're investing heavily, presumably you already understood all that. And you may say it's a buying opportunity, right? We're going to move the price back up. So I'm going to watch this. I'm just not opinionated as to which direction it's going to go at this point.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's a good one. Either way it ends up going, I think we'll have some opportunities. Heading back over here, guys, FLUT this morning. This is a Flutter Entertainment. These guys are down 11.5, 350,000 shares traded. I mean, again, I don't like the pre-market action. Daily's been just on a big downtrend here. Another one that was sitting at 300. middle of last year, now down to 108. So big drop for them. But again, just the overall volume on the daily doesn't look great, and this pre-market action doesn't look good either. So again, another one that we might end up watching on our list here.
Yeah, I've never heard of them. Their website proudly call themselves the world's #1 online sports betting and gaming operator. Really? Then why
How's
haven't I
that
heard
working?
of you? Yeah. Well, I mean, they do have a lot of it looks like they've got a lot of brands nested under them that I recognize, like Poker Stars and Sky Gaming and Sportsbet and so FanDuel,
Oh,
right? We know
they got it.
those.
Okay, so there's some big names here, Peter. I thought those sports bets,
Yeah.
FanDuel, I thought they were with other companies, but no, they're under this
That's what
company
I
here.
thought at first too. So
Yeah,
I
that's
didn't
big names.
realize all of those were owned by a parent company. I guess Flutter is that parent company.
How are they
So there you
doing
go.
that? I mean, how is that possible?
Well,
It's a
I
big
mean,
business.
yeah, you'd think. Well, they may, they're doing big business. They may not have the experience here in managing market expectations. I think that may be the problem, right? Just because you know how to suck people's money out of them in the betting doesn't necessarily mean you've yet figured out exactly how to manage the markets. That's a totally different thing. And clearly, I mean, just look at this daily chart that you've got up here, going from 300 down to 100. I mean, you've lost 2/3 of your value over the last 6 months, and they missed their numbers in this quarter. So they clearly aren't doing a good job at setting and managing expectations. Um, so I'm not sure what to do with this one in terms of a trading. They get just under 5 million shares a day on average. They've traded only 350,000 on their earnings news. I'd like to trade them because I just think it's one that could be interesting, but it just doesn't look good. It doesn't look like a good opportunity. So I think I'm going to pass.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the volume is a problem on this one. I'm gonna pass as well. All right, let's do two more, and then we'll hop around. We got some other. Look at this gap down list, guys. It is massive. Intel. I
There's
mean, you
tons.
got
Yeah.
coin. We're not gonna be able to get to everything here. Let's look one more KTOS, then we'll hop over to you, Peter. See what you like. I mean, the list is just insane today. KTOS is down 8.6 this morning. We've seen this many times on our list before, either gapping up or down. Today is down. Volume of 1.3. And I know some of you guys, not a lot of you guys, but some of you guys have been watching this one very actively and trading it. So today could be one of those days where if you like this ticker, it could be on your list this morning. Peter, what's your thoughts?
This is a secondary offering, so not what I usually like.
Oh, yeah.
They've managed to get underwriting on this secondary offering at $84 a share for another 14.3 million shares almost. So yeah, not nice tradable stuff.
Yeah, that's not a catalyst that I like either. All right, Peter, let's go to you. I know there's a ton on here. Anything you like that's sticking out for you this morning? It looks like all the usual suspects might be on this list today.
Yeah, there was a few that I was watching because I wanted to see what they were going to do. We talked about a number of them. Rocket Lab is one that we've often looked at. RKLB. They had earnings after the close yesterday. They actually beat a mixed picture, beat revenue, missed earnings. Rocket Lab's not valuated based on what they do on earnings at this point in time. Really, they are, because their sales are relatively low. For them, it's more about their rocket launches, how many they make. Unfortunately, they delayed their first scheduled launch for 2026. So that means that's bad news. People want to see them get more of their satellites and stuff into space. So they've unfortunately had a little bit of a setback there, and that's mostly what's dragging them down rather than their earnings picture. In a day, on some days, if this was the only news, I'd probably put it on my list and watch it. On a day like today, where we've got others that are trading with more volume, it falls off the bottom of the list. Another one that probably is going to fall off your list here is Wolf. Remember TerraWolf? We used to watch TerraWolf, WULF. They have been on our list many times in the past, had earnings after the close yesterday. They actually missed their numbers. So Never good when you're either a finance or a tech company and you miss your numbers. TerraWolf here should have done better, frankly. They're talking AI. They're talking about what they're doing in terms of powering financial infrastructure services. Not showing it in the numbers. But the volume's low this morning. Not something I think we want to put attention to. Last two I'll just mention, both had earnings, SMR and Intuit. SMR had earnings after the close, and actually they let's see, SMR. I'm getting conflicting information as to whether they beat or, because I had that they missed their numbers. But I'm seeing here that it says that they beat their numbers. I'm not sure now, but they are gapping down one way or the other. Anyways, this is NuScale Power. We've looked at them. We haven't been talking about nuclear power in a little while, have we? And
Yeah,
I
it's been
didn't realize
quiet.
Sam Altman is also partially behind, and he and Peter Thiel are partially behind Oklo, because they've invested and are pushing all of the supporting technology that is going to be required to manage the massive data centers that they're telling everybody they need for AI, and that OpenAI is creating demand for. So it's a self-licking ice cream cone. They're poised to make money. You know what? The other thing that, again, this video that I went to, that people obviously were not fans of Sam Altman. They were, because they were digging into his investment portfolio. He's heavily invested in insurance, specifically in insurance for companies that lose money where they get screwed over by AI, according to this. So he's also betting on the failure of AI by investing in the insurance companies that are supporting it. So, anyways, again, it's one data point. I don't know how accurate it is. It was interesting to see, though. You got to be careful, right? Because you never know. You never know what you watch now, whether it's unbiased, is it honest? I mean, they could be making it all up for all I know. I have no idea. Anyways, SMR, and then INTU was the last one that I was mentioning, that they had their earnings after the close as well and are gapping down. Another one that unfortunately just doesn't get enough volume for us to be excited about. So all that being said, Carlos, I think we've got some good targets here. From the earnings today, there's a ton more earnings out there. There's lots of stuff, so I'm sure you guys can find stuff like Monster drinks and also Monster beverages and all sorts of things. But I think we've already found the ones that we like to trade. And don't forget, we've got all the good old standbys. Tesla, which has been a great mover over the last little while, is still out there doing its thing. It's managing to stay over 400, but just barely. I don't know. We'll see what today brings. It's hanging out. It's at risk of dropping below 400. NVIDIA, which is following its typical pattern, which has been doing for 2 years, is going down yet again. It always seems to lose altitude right after its earnings. Seems to be true to form here again this morning. And then, of course, I pretty much look all the semiconductor sectors red, all of the top stocks, what am I trying to say? What are they called? The Magnificent Seven, except for Netflix. Well, Netflix, I guess, is only on the fringe of those. But anyways, Apple, Amazon, Google, Meta, Microsoft, right? PLTR, Tesla, all down. All down. So definitely the market's feeling a little red today.
It's feeling a little weak for sure. Friends, let's head over to bearbertraders.com. We can see what's happening for the next 2 weeks. I got my list: Netflix, Coreweave, Tesla, and NVIDIA for me. But let's give you guys what's happening on this beautiful Friday. Then we'll head over to some quick levels and we'll go live.
Yeah. Okay. It's Friday. Sorry. That's me. That's my cue. Friday means that we don't have any scheduled webinars at Bear Bull Traders, but what we should have is the bootcamp prep session. That prep meeting happens at noon on Fridays. Mike, if you're out there, you can just confirm that that's happening. Every once in a while, well, often we have to reschedule that, so I just want to make sure we're all good. But that should be happening at noon today, and you should already have an invite. You go over to pcapitaltrading.com, and then you'll be able to log in to the members tab and sort of get yourself ready for the next boot camp. Since we're like 60% done this camp, so we're past the halfway mark. If you want to join us at Bearable Traders, we love having new people in the community, and it's a great place to trade with other like-minded traders. We go all day. There's people in there trading all hours of the day, and all you have to do is scroll down. You can see the different membership options. There they are. If you're on YouTube, we love having you. Give us a thumbs up. That helps the growth of the channel, and it makes Carlos and I feel warm and tingly, and it encourages us to give away more things. So click the thumbs up, and then we can give things away. We like doing that. And I think you like us doing it too, based on how many people are always asking, have you had the giveaway yet? Have you given things away? So yeah, click the thumbs up.
Absolutely.
All right. We're getting close
All
to the
right,
open.
friends. So here's what we'll do. I see Brian's ready to go. Andrew's set up, ready to see his screen there, ready to rock and roll. So if you want to see that live action, guys, head over to bearwithtraders.com and join as Peter showed you. But we're going to log off from the chat, let these boys get ready, and we will continue here on X and YouTube. So take care, friends. We'll catch you guys a little bit later. Right, let me just switch everything over here, friends. We just gotta.
All right. Still there.
Yep,
still there, Carlos?
Here.
I still have you?
Yep. I'm still here.
Good.
Did you lose me?
No, I just was switching over to the headphones, so you never know.
Yep. Gotcha.
Need to double check.
Yeah, no, switching here too as well. Get everything set up. Time snuck up on us. I didn't realize how late it got. I thought we were much earlier. So that's what happens when you have so much. No, we had a lot of earnings, and not a lot of it looks are stuff that's tradable, but there's a lot of earnings, a lot of companies like Intuit. Do people still use Intuit? That's a tax company, right?
I did go on
my own taxes. It's just
a couple of rants there, so I'm gonna watch Netflix.
Netflix, Coreweave.
I don't know. There's so many things to watch here. It's tough to.
Yeah, it's too much actually. We can't. I'm having the same problem too. And what I do, I just went to my usual suspects, Tesla and NVDA, to finalize the list because it's just way too much, and I'm not gonna be able to watch all of it. I guess I took the lazy way out. I think that's okay. All right.
You took the lazy way out.
Yeah, I just went to the usual suspect. We did Netflix and Coreweave, and I just went usual suspects.
Whoa, Netflix
is rocking,
popping up here.
All right, we got time. Let's get some levels in here, friends, as we can do that. Love the pre-market. Let's start there because Netflix clearly is blowing the top off this morning. Love the pre-market is all the way down at 87.30. But I am going to mark down this area here because if you look at the pre-market 90.77, you got a lot of support happening there. So I will mark that down. Not going to worry about the high of the pre-market right now, but there is a level right over here, 95.02 on the daily, and then also 97.19. Let's see if we can get there. That 95.02, notice I also correlates with the after hours rejection you got right around this area. So you want to definitely have that there. So that's Netflix. Coreweave for the most part, high of the pre-market. As we got less than 2 minutes here. High of the pre-market 89.50. Towards the bottom 89.84, 84.08, and then right down here another level 80.81. Then towards the top, highs and lows for the last 2 trading days. But we did miss a level that I do want to mark down for my end. 92.89 for Coreweave. I think will be a good one. Our good buddy Tesla, as we get close to the open, towards the top, I think you're set. Even the high of the pre-market, you're all set. Even the low of the day, you're like low of yesterday right there. So I'm just going to worry about right over here, 400, which is going to be a psychological level as well, and 394.41. And last but not least, NVIDIA. Look at NVIDIA, man. This is nice. I have the pre-market 186.65. The low just keeps going, so I'm just going to mark down 181.50 for now. Down here, 179.29, and I think you're set for NVIDIA. I like NVIDIA. I'm going to be watching that front and center this morning, friends. All right, 30 seconds to the market open. Let's see what the action is.
I should have just taken NVIDIA short pre-market. That would have been great.
Should have taken a short yesterday. Just leave it short until today.
Well, again, the pattern proves true. I mean, I was watching it yesterday at the open, and again, it never pulled back to give me my entry, which is unfortunate. because you're right. Because I could have got in over 200. I think. What did it open
Oh, there's the
yesterday?
bell.
Oh, where's my bell? Well, I didn't have a bell.
I heard it. I heard the bell.
Oh man, I didn't get one on my end. I am all thrown off now.
All right, let's see.
Okay.
Wow, Coreweave.
This day is already going sideways.
Wow. Look at Coreweave go, friends.
Coreweave is dropping.
I'm gonna I'm not touching Tesla today, man. Tesla today gave me such a bad day yesterday, but that's
You're
okay.
not touching Tesla today? Okay.
No, I am touching it. You know, I took out my anger on the funded account yesterday after I had my big max loss. My live account, I took it out on the funded account, and I blew that thing up. I was oh my God,
Carlos.
Yeah. I took it out. We'll talk about that later. We'll focus on the open, but oh my goodness, I blew that thing up with Circle of Internet. It was just like hilarious. I'm like, well, it's not hilarious, not funny now, but it was.
Okay, taking a partial on Tesla.
Very nice, very nice.
Stop at break even.
NVDA.
I did jump in early. I haven't been trading in like 2 days because I just never get a trade opportunity. So, anyways, it's funny because you were saying you're not going to trade Tesla, and I'm like, oh well, I'm already in it.
I'm kidding. I am going to trade Tesla if it gives me my shot. I am definitely going to do it. But we'll see.
Come on,
here, friends.
Let's go lower. PLTR is up here this morning. I was hoping for a move to 400
on the Atlas, Peter. It looks so weak. So I think you might be in good shape here if it can continue.
I can hope so.
Let's see here.
It's and this market is, what is it going to do? Is it going to push higher, or are we going to drop here? It's like right near my break even.
I don't know. Market's trying to push higher, so that doesn't help. But let's see.
Oh, there we go. I just got taken out at break even, so I'm out of Tesla for the moment. Let's see what it does up here.
Tesla getting above the VWAP here. Could be setting up nice for a long if it's gonna change and be strong here. Tesla above the VWAP.
Yeah.
So for the 5-minute RB, I want to see the 5-minute RB set up, the range setup, which that's what I'm kind of waiting for here on Tesla. And then I would love to get a pullback, you know, when that range sets up, and kind of get in for the break of the pullback, or on the pullback when there's strength going towards the break. I'll do that too. That's kind of what I'm looking for. I mean, I have a more detailed webinar going into a lot more details in that, but let's see. We might get it here. Let's see if Tesla does it. So it's up above the VWAP. We still got a minute and change to go for the range to close.
One company, Anthropic. They're not publicly traded, eh? No, they're private. It's another company that I was looking at. Anthropic was making the news because they're defying the Department of Defense. I don't know if you're following that news, Carlos, and AI news. The CEO
the name
of
sounds
Anthropic,
familiar, but I can't pin down where did I hear this name.
The CEO of Anthropic has been very vocal about wanting guardrails in place and controls to prevent the misuse of AI. The Department of Defense said, no, we're going to use the AI for whatever we deem. We'll use it legally, but we're not going to commit to you anything further than that. And they're saying, well, that's not good enough. They have a $200 million contract to Department of Defense that they're about to get blackballed from if they don't agree. Basically, the department says, just agree to all our terms, or we'll force you to give us your software under the War Measures Act or something weird. Anyways, it's all a very strange situation, but you gotta appreciate the fact that he's standing on some principles here, or at least it seems like that's what he's doing, to say, I'm just concerned about the misuse.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which,
All right. I'm long Tesla, friends, here. Let's see if we can get the breakout. Stop is 403.20. But I like the pop. Let's see if we can get the breakout above the high of the day. It's so funny. I'm watching this show, Tehran. Great show. Season 3. I'm still like in season 2, and they got a seasons out. And it's like these other countries, man. You don't get to talk like that. Like they'll make you unalive so quick. The fact that you can going up against the government like that. Other countries, man, it's no, that's not happening. This is what we're doing, and that's it.
Yeah. Let's see what I can do here to.
Come on, Tesla. Let's get it going. It's taking too long. Taking way too long. We did a little pop, but then we're not getting the momentum.
Yeah. I was still thinking short on Tesla, but it doesn't look like it's. I was, but it doesn't look like it's supporting that. So you might get the move here. It's because the market started to turn around, but Tesla was showing like it just was staying stable. So really, what I did is I took my eye off NVIDIA because I wanted a short on NVIDIA near the VWAP, and it gave me that opportunity at 181.50. But I was looking the wrong way, so it's unfortunate. Why does Carlos trade only Tesla? He doesn't only trade Tesla. It's just
I don't only trade Tesla. Oh, come on.
Just but
it's my baby, though.
You get familiar, right? You get comfortable with certain tickers, and we both do it. Like I tend to trade a lot of Tesla. I trade a lot of NVIDIA nowadays. It used to be AMD all the time for me, and you know, there's certain things you get comfortable with, and that's sort of for some traders. Apparently, both Carlos and I. That's the way it works.
Yep. I'm out of it. We took some off, but I don't think it's gonna go. That's why I took 2 quick partials because it was too hesitant. You didn't get the continuation, so 2 partials and we're out. We're out of it. Peter, your short could be in play here. I think that's the thing with Tesla too. Like it moves. Like if you get in it, you know, you can get $1 very, very quickly. You know, and that's nice.
Yeah.
So here it is, back below the VWAP. Let's see if it does a short. If it does a short, we'll take a short. If it does it. But we gotta wait for the setup here. What else? How about Coreweave? Coreweave back above the VWAP. Netflix, not really anything.
PLTR had a good move this morning off the open.
Who mentioned that? Sam. Oh, Sam. Why does Carlos always trade Tesla? I don't, but I do trade it a lot. It's my most traded ticker of all time. So.
Wow. Wow, look at that pop back up on Tesla, Carlos.
Yeah, gotta be careful if you want to go short here. Gotta be careful, friends. Now, Peter, if it rejects clearly here, there's something going on. If it rejects a 4 or 5, will you be thinking short back to the VWAP?
It's no, I wouldn't take a short from here back to the VWAP. That would be too aggressive for me. But if it goes below the VWAP, again, I think a move down to 400 is possible, but I'd have to see if there's any weakness. I mean, this thing could move back up to 420 as well, right? So
yep. Let's take a look at the secondary SMR trying to go green here. No, that's not it. Duolingo. I misspelled this. There we go. Oh, misspelled it again. It's not a 0. It's a O. Okay, not doing a whole lot. Block kind of sideways too. NVIDIA coming up to the VWAP, guys. This could be good here. Oh, Tesla's gonna go. Look at that. Should have got back in, but didn't really trust it getting above that level. All right, here's NVIDIA. Above the VWAP. You got an engulfing on the 5-minute as well, which is nice. What is Atlas telling us on NVIDIA? There's the pullback. Oh, it's kind of a deep pullback.
Well, Carlos, I don't have. It's more difficult trading with your leg up than I anticipated.
It's uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable.
It
Yeah,
is.
that cause
It
then
is.
you
And
gotta
you know
gotta
what?
kind of like lean back, right? Because then you're gonna just cramp your leg up. Yeah, it's not a.
Well, even just sitting, like I haven't sat down while trading in months, and I put my desk down the other day. I might have told you guys this already. I can't remember, but I put my desk down. I'm like, why does it look so low? It felt like I was sitting on the ground because I hadn't seen the desk that low in forever. Because when I have it up, it's literally at the maximum height that the desk can go to. I mean, I'm not that tall, but I guess I'm taller than your average bear, so I need the desk cranked all the way. So it's just one of those things where it was. Sitting is just now uncomfortable for me. Like my butt's sore already. I've only been sitting here for an hour and a half.
Yep.
Anyways,
All right, we're doing it again here. We're doing it again. This what got me yesterday. All this sideways back and forth.
yeah.
Doing it again. Here's Tesla. Just can't break this 405. Back to the VWAP.
I want so much to go short here.
This looks good for a short, actually.
It does.
You're engulfing on the 5-minute.
The market's pushing lower, but you know I've seen this before. I've seen this show before.
Oh yeah.
I know. I know you can get caught.
Yep. It looks good though. Let's see here. All right. Coreweave, nothing. Netflix, nothing. How about you guys? You guys got anything that's looking good out there? RKT, no, that's just chop right now between VWAP and previous day close. Soundhound, what do we got going on? Looking to break. Yeah, you kind of got a little breakout here. I don't love it. I don't love this stock, but you kind of got some kind of breakout happening there. Not ideal.
Carlos, I did go short, and I, in fact, even added into it on the way down here.
Nice.
Gonna take a partial.
Nice.
Let me show you. I'll put it up on the screen for you guys.
Yep.
Here we go. So you can see I got short and I added. I just took a quick partial because it dropped so quickly. I was trying to get 402, but it.
I don't have your screen yet. Let me see.
Oh,
it's
sorry.
not coming
you
up.
know what? I'm probably.
Oh,
I'm probably not.
Okay.
I'm not sharing it. That's my bad. I forgot to do that.
Oh, Tesla. Very nice. Look at that.
There we go.
Guys, who took that short on Tesla? That is beautiful.
There we go. So there's my screen, Carlos. There. I'm taking another partial as we speak here.
Oh, that is nice. Good stuff, man.
So
470. Got a level down there. What is that? Law of the pre-market, maybe? No, this is a daily level. Some daily level looks like.
Yeah, so I've got two short trades on Tesla now today, which is not bad considering how much time it spent up above VWAP here. But come on, don't stop me out.
Yeah, this is crap. He's just not getting. Coreweave above the VWAP.
Don't do it. Don't. Oh, it stopped me out. All right.
Just no continuation lately, man. This was the same thing yesterday too. It just gave us a hard time. NVIDIA is also looking messy. It's not going anywhere.
Yeah, I was looking at NVIDIA for a short. I didn't want to go chasing this. It was around actually right at this price, but 3 minutes ago, at
Yeah,
180.60 on the way down, and I thought I wanted to take a short through 180, but then Tesla just looked better. So,
yeah.
but I don't. I'm happy with my two trades on Tesla so far. I'm not going to force anything. This is not my, not my best trading time of day. So I've
Yep,
been
yep.
caught as well chasing things, and you know, it's
I'm
not
green. I might just
usually.
call it a day after yesterday. I
Yeah,
might just say, you know
you
what?
know,
That's it. Let me go into the weekend
there's
happy.
there's some wisdom in that, right? Because I
You know what? It's
mean,
like the
you can
Peter.
get.
I don't know. I love bread. I love bread. I mean, I just love bread. It's like the last piece of bread. Like you have a nice, soft,
Yeah.
fresh out of the oven. That last piece, that last bite is like the best. Like no matter what happens, how good the bread was, but that last piece you're gonna bite,
Do you mean
that's the
like the
best,
end
right?
of the bread? Like
Just whatever the last piece of the bread
we
is. If
call
you
that.
have a whatever your last bite of the bread is the best. It's like
Okay.
you look forward to
Okay.
that last bite. That's it. There's no more. Uh, and sometimes your last trade is the one that kind of sticks with you, right? So
Yeah.
I'm sticking with
Okay.
a green trade. It's like, oh, this is the last taste I have of day trading here. It's a good one. So
I
obviously
thought you
trading does
meant
not
like
work like that.
the crust or the end of the bread. We call that the
And
bread butt.
the
And we
bread
always
butt,
I
I
like the
like the
bread
bread
butt.
butt too.
I like the bread
I
butt. I always
like the
go for
bread
that.
butt too. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
a fan. I'm a fan. Ah, look at Coreweave actually took off here, friends. Oh, wow, that's nice.
Yeah. And Tesla's back up. So see, this is why I stick to my rules and I
Wow.
let myself get stopped out when it hits my break even. Because if I don't get the continuation, I don't want to play in this stuff where,
Yeah,
because we could just be choppy. So
yeah, yep. Stops are
choppy,
important. Like
choppy,
even with my
choppy.
bad day yesterday, if you guys remember,
Yeah.
where was it? I'll show you here in a second. If we didn't stop out and try to get fancy, it just kept going. Like
Are you sharing the
it
screen,
was.
Carlos?
No, I'm
I
gonna
still
share it
see
now.
my
Here,
screen.
right over here.
Okay.
So we got stopped out. Like I think it's in this area, right? Which is a bad drop, but it just kept going. Like it never came back. So if I would have not stopped out there, it would have been extremely painful because it never came back.
Yeah.
Right? It just kept dropping. So you got to stop out, get stopped out, man. It's part of the game. If you don't, you are going to pay for it dearly. Here is NVIDIA. Coreweave actually did a nice break. I was coming back now, but it had a nice break from 80, 61 to 84. It's almost $2 there. NVIDIA, Netflix. Wow, Netflix is garbage. Nothing going on with Netflix. Melanie
Yeah.
has a question for you, Peter.
Oh, okay. Oh, let's see. Okay. She has a question, but she didn't actually state the question. She just says
No,
she
no,
has
no.
a
She wants
question.
to make sure
Okay,
you're
shoot.
ready to read the
All
question.
right, I'm ready.
I have a question for
I'm
you, Peter.
ready. Shoot. Okay.
Wants your attention.
That's like now. See, you didn't say that right. You should say, "Can I ask you a question?" Because then I get to go into dad joke mode. Well, you
Ah,
just
I knew
did,
it. You just
but I
did.
can let you ask another one. All right. Look it back and tell me if yesterday was a mountain pass rejection. Okay. Let's do it. Let's do it. Okay, I'll put it up on the screen here. Bank of America yesterday. Oh, where are you seeing this yesterday?
I'll bring up your
Uh,
screen.
from the low, maybe? Is this where you're looking at it? Yeah, this would have been an inverse mountain pass, if that's what you're looking at. That's what I see. You got a low. The problem is the volume came in a little bit after it, but still, you got increasing volume at the low of day, a pullback, a retest. The entry would have been right about here with the stop below the low. This would have been nerve-wracking because it didn't go up right away. But yeah, that would have been an inverse mountain pass. And then you would have got like an excellent move all the way up into the close. Well, at least up till 2 o'clock. What did it do for the rest of the day? I don't see a mountain pass at the top here, but I see an inverse mountain pass down from the lows higher. So if that's what you're asking about, Melanie, yes, I would say that that's actually a pretty good mountain pass right there. You mean the rejection of 5250, 5250. Oh, up here. 5250. So at the top side here, this doesn't qualify as a mountain pass for me. One, the high of day is too early. That's only 9:40 in the morning. Then these pullbacks went through the VWAP. I don't play mountain passes that interact with the VWAP. They need to be removed from it. And it never sort of made a high of day retest, right? The only high of day or the high of day was established early and it never retested. So for me, no. That hopefully that answers your question for you. But again, I'm always going to give it to you based on my criteria. It doesn't mean you have to use that criteria. You could look at it totally differently, and that's perfectly fine. But I can only give you from my point of view and my trade book. So, all right, Carlos. Hey, did you click the thumbs up?
I think I did actually.
Okay.
I'm scrolling down right now. Oh shit, no. I did not.
I saw when you did it. I saw the number move.
Yeah, go. I did now. I did now.
All right.
I thought I did.
Other people are doing it
probably,
as well.
Probably was yesterday. I thought I did. And friends, you might have thought you did too. So just go check. Make sure you did, just like I thought I did.
Just make sure. Yeah, we appreciate that. We do.
If you haven't, hit that thumbs up. All right, Tesla back above the VWAP, Peter. Back above.
I know. I don't know now. The Tesla chart looks a lot like the SPY chart, Carlos. So it's not looking independent, which is not a surprise. That often happens. But it just means also that unless we get some direction, it is a Friday. We can't forget that. Yep. And on Fridays, it tends to be a little choppier than other days.
Yeah.
So.
Yes, indeed. All right, we're just waiting, friends, seeing what's next here. MU. Let's take a look at MU. MU. Yeah, it's just not much right now, right? You got the up and down, but I don't see anything. It's come back to the VWAP. I don't. Not sure what this will mean right at the moment.
One of our trading friends here on YouTube mentioned that they were. It sounded like they had a good trade on Google. Google did make a good move up. It's moved up right off the open, sideways for about 10, 12 minutes, and then up again. Nothing spectacular, but sort of a pretty steady move.
Yeah,
which is interesting.
Yep.
Netflix is and I see Netflix is just breaking above VWAP a little bit, but it's not as energetic as I would have hoped on Netflix, to be honest. I was hoping for a little more volume, a little more. I mean, the volume I suppose is actually there, but it's not giving it the oomph I was looking for. I mean, we're already at almost 30 million shares.
It's trying. Now it's trying. Yeah. Like you could tell he's trying to push.
Trying a little bit.
Volume is increasing a little bit more.
Let's go through everything that we were watching that I've taken a look at.
This could be a long one. Netflix stop below the VWAP, good $1. And then try to get a 95. I could take all day. But it's not a bad trade if it gets there. I'll wait all day for $4. Why not? $3.
Autodesk went up. Low volume. As expected, XYZ block. I like how they went from square to block. Is it just they're going 3D? They decided they didn't want to be queued.
That's
with
actually pretty good
the block.
thought process if that was somebody thought.
I assume that's what they were doing. But anyways,
Wise
but they haven't
WDB.
really moved that well. Good volume on block, 8 million shares, but
Mm.
not enough range.
Yeah, so your question is why is WDB going down to 28 when the acquisition is 31? I don't know, man. Acquisitions could do some very weird things. And there's still, is that finalized? Is Paramount buying this 100%? Is it a done deal? Or can it still, because sometimes you get the deal in place, but with these communication companies, there's got to be like approval, right? So did they get that
And
final approval?
wasn't there, I don't know the current structure of the deal, but I know the early Paramount offer had some weird structured where it wasn't all being paid up front. There was only some that was going to be paid a little later on or after some milestones were hit. And which was one of the reasons why the Paramount deal needed support. Remember, there was a backer that came in and said that they would back the bid because Paramount didn't actually have enough money for the bid that they were making. Anyways, I don't know what the current structure is, but there could be some of that's being factored into this.
Okay.
I do think that, well, I mean, from my seat over here, that the Netflix deal would have been better for Warner Brothers, but I mean, I don't get a vote. I'm not on the board. Yeah, his dad, right? His dad came in and provided some guarantees, but
Coreweave actually going the other way here. Look at that. The 84 rejected nicely down back below the VWAP.
And speaking of below the VWAP, Tesla's back below the VWAP here again. Oh, my leg is so cold.
It's a lot of chop, guys. We'll get something. We just gotta be patient. We'll get something. Netflix trying to go higher. I think Netflix is happy to be out of this deal. I think they're happy to. They probably realize, you know what, this is just not worth it. Let's get the hell out. Let's run. Let's pay our fine if we have to pay our fine. Whoever's gonna pay the fine, let's get the hell out of here. And they are up 10%.
It's sort of like I was using relationship analogies, but it is a lot like a relationship, right? It's like being in a marriage, and when it's not going well, but you don't want to give up on the marriage. But when you finally do, you're like, you know what? I didn't realize how stressed I was till after I got out, and I feel relieved now. I get the impression Netflix is like, they're like, you know what? It's a shame that it's over, but I'm pretty relieved actually.
Yeah.
It's probably a good thing to get out, get on with my life.
Absolutely.
I'm not sure that they actually got the breakup fee. I think it was like Netflix paid the fee to Warner Brothers, Paramount reimbursed Netflix. So I think it was sort of a net flat thing, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, and if Paramount is buying, if they're buying Warner Brothers, it doesn't matter. It's just, it's not you're not really paying anything if you think about it, right?
Yeah.
Like, what are you gonna do?
But let's face it. I mean, also it is Netflix, right? Like they are deep pocketed. So handing Netflix, $2.8 billion is sort of like handing you or I a couple $100. It's nice, but it's not going to change your life.
Right.
It's a couple $100. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it. But
we can't have 3 private jets this year. We're sizing down to only 2. That's it. Yeah. So no big deal.
They've got they've got about 9 billion cash on hand. So they're like, you know what, that's fine. Appreciate it. We'll just put it in the pile.
Yeah. Netflix is trying, but it's trading pretty bad, man. It just keeps coming down here.
Anyways.
NVIDIA is trying to make a support area here. SMR. Got nothing, friends. What do you guys got out there?
You guys get this? I've been having some.
Go ahead, Peter.
How did you blow up your funded account yesterday? Oh, you better answer that one.
Oh yeah, no, I was gonna ask that one, but you started talking.
Yeah.
I think I had something to say. I blew it up. I went all in on everything. And the next trade, I was like all in on this, all in on that. Like in 2 trades, I blew it up.
Oh no! So you were up like 10 grand? Did you lose it all?
No, that was the first account. I was up like 10 grand.
Oh, okay.
So that account, I finished that account. Then I opened up another one.
Okay.
So that account did end with 10 grand. The second account, but the problem with that account, Peter, with the 10 grand, I didn't trade enough. So you know they give you the amount of periods. Okay. I did not trade enough because we took a couple of trades, but we always focus here, and you got to make sure you trade not every day, but almost every day. So I didn't trade enough.
Right.
But the second one I just got, yes, I went in there. I just went circle of infinite all in, lost on the top, lost on the bottom. I just blew it up. No. I'm just like, whatever. I walked away. I'm like, man, that's what it felt like back in the days.
It's amazing. Even we've been doing this for years, Carlos, and we can still do that. It's it's pretty amazing, man. Right? When
it's funny. I was in there. I was just like, as I'm taking these trades, I'm like, man, it took me back to the way when we used to blow up accounts when we first started, because everybody blew up accounts. It took me back. I was like, this is so stupid. I did this in my actual account before, and it was actually pretty interesting to think that we did that stuff in our live accounts. But it's wild, man. You're one trade away from blowing up, so you gotta make sure, man, you are risk management. That's gotta be on point.
Yep. Indeed. All right, so NVIDIA, it's back at VWAP. Tesla is back up through VWAP. Like, we are pretty choppy here this morning. Not the best.
I'm glad you did it on the funded account. No, but you know what? It can happen on your live account. Like, I done that on my live account. Like, I done that stuff where you go in there and you just try to show the market who's boss, and the market tells you it's not you. It lets you know you're not the boss. I'm going to show you who's the boss.
Every time.
And it'll break you. Oh yeah, every time.
So,
you better go in there like a gentle bird. See what you could pick off. But if you try to go in there like the hawk, it'll humble you very quickly. So oh yeah. But it can happen. It can really happen. But it's funny. I was, as I was doing it, I realized the biggest thing on the funded accounts, I started trading like just full buying power, full size. I just didn't care. And you got to trade small. If you do not trade small, if you don't control the amount of shares you're taking and how small you're trading, you're gonna have a problem, big time. So that's the biggest thing, is trade small. And it's the advice we give every trader when they first start out even with their real account. You gotta trade small, and don't deviate from that small trading, no matter what happens. And that's gonna help big time. Tesla back at 405, Peter. It is just pure chop this morning. Like, you're getting a couple of breakouts and breakdown, but it's not really going anywhere. So I'm gonna get another funded account. I will. I'm gonna get another funded account. This time I'm gonna pay for myself. That one. I got that one from Andrew, who's nice enough to give me that one. I'm gonna pay for my own funded account this time, and I'm gonna show the funded account who's boss, by following all my rules. By following all my rules.
That's how you show it who's boss.
Exactly.
that
I'm
is
gonna
what you
show who's
do.
boss by not giving in to his crap. I'm gonna trade it very, very respectfully.
Well, NVIDIA is pushing up through VWAP now.
Yeah, Tesla. All right, market must be going up, right? It's just can't. I mean, this is an amazing VWAP breakout, but it's just so hard to. After you've seen all these failures, it's so hard to get into this, guys. I'm telling you, it is very difficult to have trust on not on the strategy, but on the breakout, right? On the actual breakout continuation. But now you're getting it. Now you're getting it here. So this looks nice in a couple of trades. You're getting a little breakout here. That's good. Not so much on Netflix and Coreweave, but on Tesla and NVIDIA, which are pretty much following the overall market, right? So, wow, we're rocking, and I'm not in anything. That's a shame. We're moving higher now. Now I'm not in anything. Peter, you jump in anything?
Nope. No, I'm just watching here.
Yeah, yeah. Wow, that is beautiful. So Corey, so on this one, yeah, it's not the perfect setup where you get the breakout and you get the nice red candle for the pullback and then the confirmation candle. But sometimes when you look at this candle here, in some situations, you might get the pullback. And as it's closing up, getting close to finishing this candle, you might identify that, hey, this is ready to go now, opposed to waiting for the next candle, right? So sometimes the pullback and the confirmation come in the same candle. I've taken these trades before. Not always. You have to see how the 1 minute is trading. I was not looking at it at that time. And also look at the market atlas, look at everything else, see if it looks bullish. So to me, I think this gave you a nice setup, right? The pullback and then the push up here. And if you're not convinced there, that's okay. Wait for the next candle. Look at opens up. Look at this pullback here, and then shoots back up. That's another entry there as well, right? So it's not always going to look textbook like this right here, right? It won't always look like that. Like that one, that's perfect. You get in there. If that would have happened here, that's awesome. But sometimes you get it. It's kind of segmented into different candles, and I think here, I think that's what you got, right? You got the pullback, the push up, another pullback, the push up, and just look at it go here. Wow, SPY is really feeding it nicely today. Man, that is good. Tesla's not budging. I mean, it's moved up, but it's not really breaking this 405. Like, it's still stuck here. Let's mark this 405 level. What is this? Let's go into our daily. What do we have? 405. 405. Nothing really besides we got a couple of days here, but another area here. Nothing major. Yeah, nothing crazy. Just decided to pick that level today. Oh man. Semis are rocking. MU, same thing, going green right here.
All right. So are you're not in anything, are you, Carlos?
No, I'm not. I'm not. You?
Micron, you're right. Micron's made a nice move here, but
Yeah.
NVIDIA also pushed up through the VWAP nicely. I don't chase these, but it looks pretty. I was talking yesterday. So after essentially, I had 2 days without any. I had one small trade towards the close 2 days ago on Wednesday. I had no trades yesterday, and I was like, dude, basically, it's 2 days without trading, and I'm thinking, I need to add some strategies here because obviously I'm too restrictive. I've clamped things down after my big blowout last week. Well, not number of trades, not on dollars, because it actually ended up pretty well. But remember that day when I had like 20 trades on Tesla? It was horrible.
Yeah,
Anyways,
yeah, I remember that. Yeah,
apparently it affected me so much I clamped it down that I can't trade at all now. But I honestly, I was going back over the days and like according to my written strategies, there were no trades. Like nothing was actually setting up. So it's not like I missed things. That's not true. I mean, there was one or two, but it was on stocks that I wasn't watching. So, it's not
yeah,
like I actively missed them. They just were, there was nothing setting up on the stuff I was watching. So, it just, yeah, I guess, you either have to add or change your strategies or acknowledge there's just going to be days where you don't get the opportunity. And I usually go with the latter, right? I just say there's no opportunity. But it doesn't make those days any less frustrating, right? Because you're sitting here all day and you're like, God, I got nothing. Nothing.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
so I'm just as happy that I got two trades on Tesla as much as they didn't run for me and go the way I wanted. I picked the only two times where it actually, dropped and where a short would have worked. So makes me pretty happy,
Yeah, yep.
you know, pretty happy. And
All right,
Andrew's
Tesla
busy
back at
talking about computer
405.
problems over. That's what I was going to talk about earlier. Because you ever notice? Because I've been having some computer issues recently as well. And you ever notice Windows always gives you the heads up that it's about to have some really bad problems. I find, anyways, when you get
Yeah,
when you get the start bar and you call it up and the icons don't populate and you just get that generic icon for everything, and you're like, now I don't know what is what. I don't know which icon
I don't
represents
think I
my
had
different
that
apps.
happen to me, but that
Oh,
sounds
you never had
serious,
that
man.
happen? Oh my
No.
goodness, I get that all the time. And then if you reboot, it'll go away, and sometimes it goes away for a day, sometimes it's a week, but it's the start of the end. It's usually when your computer starts to fail, I've found anyways.
Yeah. This is the one I'm getting now. I don't know if you were to read that, but I'm getting this
Oh, I
your
can't read that
CP
at all.
every
Oh, there.
time I turn on my computer, I get this. Your CPU memory
Oh,
has changed something 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 every morning. And I'm like, "Why
really?
I haven't done anything." Right? So I don't know why that's
Wow.
happening, but it's kind of the sign that
Wow.
yeah, it's coming.
That's not good.
Yeah, every morning.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
actually,
that
not every
that
morning. Once in a while. It's not all the time.
hmm. Maybe your computer's just cold sitting out there in the shed.
Nah, I don't know. No, I mean, I keep it here like overnight. I keep it at 50, 55. Um, but yeah, it's weird, man. See, Corey knows what he's talking about. Reset vials, replace COMS battery, and you should be fine. You see, you just spoke a different language to me. I tell you right now, it's not gonna happen because I don't know how to do it. That sounds like something I have to YouTube. Uh, but yeah, yeah, it's a BIOS thing. Yeah, it's not. That's not. This is not a Windows thing. It's a computer BIOS thing. I could tell because it's before even Windows turns on, right? So, um, it's man. That's the computer I had. I had this computer when I started trading. I actually built this one when I started trading, 2018. So wow, yeah, that one is old. Um, the one that the streaming on, which is the one that vMix runs on, that's different. That's more upgraded.
The 8 years shouldn't really be that old for a computer, in my
It
opinion.
shouldn't, but now you start getting
But
you can no longer update Windows because your hardware doesn't support it, right? I start getting that crap now.
yeah,
You start getting the
we also
limitations.
like Windows updates don't actually do that well because you get update on update on update, and then it just all sort of sits there. You got to start clearing out the old updates, and anyways, it. All right, we're still watching the market here, just not seeing a trade that we like. I would have liked to get into NVIDIA, but I said I keep watching. I'm trying to steel myself to do these momentum type trades, but I have not yet honestly figured it out. What the? Oh no, okay.
All right, let's see. Bad 20 sounds like Omen problems. We're getting there,
Well,
man. We're getting there.
yeah,
I hope I can stay as tech savvy as possible into my old age, right? I hope that I can able to keep up with technology. Um, but you
yeah.
never know. I think it's the point where you just stop caring. I mean, Peter's already getting grumpy, as his wife just mentioned already, to him yesterday, I guess.
Yeah,
So he's
apparently.
starting to, go into a grumpy stage. It's seeping in a little bit. Oh man, good times. Oh, Netflix above the VWAP. You did get the breakout. You did get the pullback. This would be your entry. Stop at 91.90 here. 91.90, target 20. It's not that much. I don't know if it's worth it. Wow, this is brutal. This is not an easy morning, friends.
Nope. No, it is not. Wow. NVIDIA back at VWAP again.
Netflix might actually end up working out. I would have taken it when I said it.
Maybe.
Maybe, yeah. It's not there
Maybe.
yet. It's got to get at least to 92.75 at least. But it's not there yet. Coreweave, nice rejection of the VWAP, right back down. Oh no, never mind. Netflix failed. I'm glad they didn't take that. Back at the break even. And it's going lower.
Mm.
Yeah, Bats, Wayne. I used to I like building computers, man. I do, but the last one I got was the Alienware, and it was a decision. Okay, am I going to build it? Or am I going to just pay for it? I'm like, I just pay. And I know I overpaid. You always overpay when you get the latest stuff and you don't build it yourself. You're always gonna overpaid by a couple of $100. But I just didn't want to deal
Yeah.
with it, man. Like nah, just put it
Yeah.
together,
It's nice to
ship
just
it to
take it out
me.
of the box, plug it in, and say, I'm done.
That's it, yeah. And don't get me wrong, I like getting all the boxes together, and then you take a picture of all the components, and you plug them in, and there's something nice about building it yourself. But you get to the point, it's like I've done a few of these, and that was fun. But just
Yeah.
unwrap it, plug it, and let's go.
Yeah.
And the thing too is now is the insurance and the service. Like Alienware's now is by Dell, so I bought it off the Dell website, and the service is amazing. Like anything goes wrong, call these guys up. They'll either try to fix it, or they'll replace it. It just gets done, right? When you build it yourself, it's a whole different story. You don't got that, right? So now you gotta call different places. Something's wrong. It's just a mess. So there's a sense of peace, I guess, peace of mind when you do it that way. Yeah, I love Micro Center. I love going to Micro Center. Wow, Netflix not only failed, they bombed like horribly. Look at this. This would have been our stop right here, 91. What's that? 91, 91.90? Yeah, it would have been stopped out right there. There's just no continuation. And this looked very good for a possible breakout. Even the ask looked great. Like they had tons of ask up there. And nope, no continuation. What a day. I squeezed $40 out of Netflix and given up. Glad I am green. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. If you're green today by any number, you are golden, my friend, because it is a tough day. I mean, just look at this. Let's go down our list. Right, here's the first one. Netflix. I got a couple of breakouts. Are pretty hard to take these trades. Here it's just kind of winding around the VWAP. Coreweave was a little bit better. You did get a nice breakout here. You did get to 84. You are actually in a nice downtrend now. If you can get back to the low of the day, that'd be awesome. So this is actually a little bit better compared to some of the stuff that I had on my list. Tesla did give us a nice look here. Didn't work out as far as the continuation. Gave Peter a great look down here. He took it, took some off as well, then stopped out. And then here broke out again. But again, this 405, you're just stuck. Can't get above that 405. So that's not going anywhere. And then NVIDIA did get a nice breakout here. But to be honest, at this point, we had so many fake outs that I really wasn't convinced on the continuation. So, but you could have gotten at least a couple of partials out here and then either stopped out or break even. Or if you keep your original stop, maybe you're still in it. I don't know. Can it bounce off a VWAP back to 82? Maybe you add. I don't know. But this is not an easy morning. There's nothing that would have said like, oh man, how did I miss that? Not on my list at least. I don't see it. IonQ, let's take a look. IonQ. Oh yeah, nice drop on IonQ here. Lost the VWAP. Came back up, retest, and then dropped. All right, here it is. Tesla back at 405, above 405.50. Your funded account is a mess. Oh man, I'm so gonna do my funded account again. I'm so gonna do it. Oh, I am so gonna, and I'm paying for it. I'm paying my $300. You know, so I could have some real skin in the game. You know, I can't go out like that. Cannot go out like that.
I can't go out like that,
on, man. How dare I?
Oh man, it is a.
No, the key is not revenge time, but the key is trade small, right? I'm like, yeah, let me trade big. You can't be trading, full buying power. No, trade small. But it was revenge from my Tesla day yesterday. That's for sure. I revenge traded the crap out of that account. Yeah, IDN Gold. Yeah, it is. It is pure chop. It's early though. I mean, it's only an hour into the market open, so I think there might be some opportunities. It is Friday, so Friday tends to be a little bit weird. As the price actually kind of dies down a little bit quicker, but and that used to happen a lot at 12, like at 12, 11, on any day of the week. Action would die down. It'll pick up again. I remember 2017, 2018. At 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, volume would come right back in. And you actually had these spikes that happen at 2 o'clock where, okay, all the traders are back in. Not anymore. Now you could, the entire day on a regular day, you can have volume, you can have breakouts. The market is good at any time. And part of it is retail traders. Peter, I was listening to a show, and I forgot the actual number, but the amount of volume that we're transacting now between algos and retail traders is like 3 times more than what it was before, as far as just overall volume transactions. And I'm just like, that is great. And you see it. You see it. Like if you go back to the SPY, you go back to some of these charts, you see the difference in transactions. Let's go to like a monthly here. Yeah, actually, you don't see it as much, but there's a place where you see it, like starting in COVID, after COVID, you see that they had this chart. You see the number of like transactions increase drastically, and that's what these guys want to do, a 24-hour thing. That's what they want to do. They bring the PDTD down, because who wins when you have this? The exchanges.
Right.
They win. The Coinbase, your brokers, these guys win because more commissions, more transactions, so they want to make it as easy as possible for you to trade, as easy as possible for you to put your money in here. This is why it's so important to learn how to trade first. Go to a funded account, prove to yourself that you can actually trade, because if not, they are going to make you a market donor. You don't want to be a market donor.
Donor. Oh, yeah, you don't want to be a donor.
You don't want to be a donor. You want to be a participant, not a donor. So don't do that. Tesla actually is breaking out, believe it or not. David, where did you hear that? That's big news. Yeah, March 14. I haven't heard of an actual date. You sure that's when the rule changes, or that is when is the SEC is making their decision? Right, yeah. So FINRA confirmed, yeah, waiting on the SEC. Okay, SEC, yeah. Wow, Tesla, you sneaky dog. It's just snuck right under our nose here, Peter. Like, just dabbling around 405, and then boom.
Nah, I was watching it, but it's it always looks easy in the hindsight.
Yeah.
It wasn't quite so clear going up, because I mean, this is the problem, right? Because it does these it chops for a while, and then eventually it takes off, and you're like, oh, I could have been there. But how many times would you have had to have taken it, or how much chop would you have had to hold through, right? So even if you look back here just after 10 o'clock, you can say, oh, well, it's so obvious, right? It went through VWAP and it could go higher. But, again, this is the advantage of having enough experience now. You can say, well, when I was looking at 10 o'clock and I was looking at it, I said, well, this is the third time
at 10 banging our head against
up through VWAP this morning. So I don't necessarily know that it's going to go this time.
Yeah.
It could just do the same chop that it did the other times.
Yeah. Anyways. If I didn't blow up my funded account, I could have traded it there. But no, Carlos, you blew up your funded account. My goodness. I'm coming back for you. Funded account, which is not good, because then if I'm trading trades I wouldn't normally trade my live account, my funded account, I'm basically giving my funded account the second hand stuff, and that's not good. Got to give it the quality, grade 8 stuff. Apple new low. Let's take a look on Apple. Apple always finds a way to do Apple's just like a revel. Mark, you want to go up? I'm going down. You want to go down? I'm going up. We should have a Apple reverse indicator. Whatever the market does, do the opposite on Apple. Down 1.6 today. It's got some volume. It's doing its own thing. As Tesla hits 407. Yeah, I don't have anything. Friends. Netflix never recovers, just back and forth. Can I use viewer strategy all day or only in the mornings? No, you could. I think you could use it all day. I used it all the way up to almost. I've taken as late as like 10:45, 11. Right. I don't usually try after 11, but I think I'm still sticking around here. Listening to the show until 12, and I think a few times I've taken it after like 11:15, 11:20, and it works. I'm not here in the afternoons, but I think we got breakouts can happen at any time. I think that strategy can happen at any time. So I think the only difference is that later in the day, it just might take a little bit longer if you don't have heavy volume, right? But again, markets have changed. I think you can actually trade all day now. It's not like it used to be. There's a lot more volume. Let me see if I can find that chart to show you guys how much transactions are happening now. And I remember this because we used to, once we got to 12 o'clock, we all knew, okay, guys, volume's going to die down. And you saw the volume die down. You don't see that anymore. Another one, Peter, during the summer months, I don't know if you recall, the volume during the summer months used to really die down, like a lot. You don't see that anymore.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You could go now, August, July. I don't see it anymore like that. Peter, you?
No, it's a little lower. You see, but yeah, not like it used to be. You're right. It was like noticeable. Like it would drop off significantly.
Yeah. Even our gappers list, like guys, we used to go through our gappers list to be like 1 or 2, 3 tickers during the summer months, and we had to actually go through our top list from Dash Trader Pro because there was just not enough on the gappers list. Not anymore. Now there's always something there. Yeah, it's a lot of it, David. I think it has to do with algos, of course, high frequency trading, but also a big chunk of that was retail trading. So yeah, choppy. I miss those days where the market picks a direction and sticks to it. Not this up and down. Yeah, this sucks. But we'll get there. We'll get those breakout days. It happens. But yeah, when the market's not trading or there's not a stock that has its own catalyst that's very heavy, you get this. What we're getting right now, a little bit of chop. Yeah.
God,
Yeah,
AMD
I
is
pay
back
monthly
below
DAS.
the-
150. That's what they charge me.
Dell? Oh, I thought I had Dell up here. No.
Dell.
Dell's moving a little bit, but yeah, guys, pretty choppy. Even Google. Remember we talked about Google and it made that good move early. So, an hour ago, Google was looking awesome. Look at it now. Not looking so awesome. I mean, not that it's dropped. It's just all sideways crap. So. Wow.
Oh boy, oh boy. Peter, any plans for the weekend? What's going on?
The usual. We're going over to some friend's house for dinner tonight. Game night. I don't know what game. He's got all the collection, so we'll play something. Game night and
Nice.
drinking. And let's see, Saturday, the usual, we go to the gym. Nothing planned Saturday night. Sunday, pickleball as usual. Hopefully, assuming my leg is better. I got a hike and a pickleball planned for Sunday. So,
Mm.
oh, and I just got an invite for pickleball tonight. Can't do that.
Yeah, that's good, man. Good plans, good plans.
It's good when you don't have kids, right? Your plans are your own now. I don't have to worry about.
uh, my kids have a better social life than I do. This weekend, what do we
Yeah,
got? We
well,
got
that's
basketball. We got basketball.
yeah,
We
that's the way it
got
always goes.
dance class on Sunday. Basketball at 12. Saturday they took both days this weekend. Saturday they have got invited to a bowling birthday party. I'm not going to that. I'm like, my wife hates when I do this.
It,
And ladies, I'm just joking. What I'm gonna say,
to
don't
me, it's
cancel me.
weird.
What I'm gonna say, don't
It's weird
cancel
how
me.
in one generation
Uh-huh.
things changed. Because I gotta
What do you
admit,
mean?
like when I was a kid, like my dad was like, he's like, it is not my job to entertain you. Figure it out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. And if I wanted to go do something, I'd have to beg and then they let me go. And then half the time I had to figure out how to get my ass there. Like, and I might have been 10, 12, and they're like, you said you wanted to go do this thing. So I like, can you drive me, please? Could you drive me? And if not, then I'd have to get a ride with a friend or take the bus or whatever. And then, when it came to my kids, I'm like, no, like we're signing them up for everything. We're driving them everywhere. And that generally has been the culture for the last, you know, two
Yeah.
generations, I
Yeah.
guess, is that it just, you take your kids everywhere. Like you said, your kids have this great social life because you're engineering all this stuff for them. And I'm like, what
It's
happened to the, I mean,
it's
I'm not,
crazy.
maybe my dad
Yeah.
was like over rotated on that far side, but it was like, there is some value. Like they say, like, we don't let kids get bored anymore. There's huge value in having kids get bored because then you get creative. You got to make things up. You make believe, you play games,
Yeah.
you have sword fights with sticks, you build forts, whatever. Like it's
Yeah.
I don't
I,
you see
I
I've
agree.
days I don't know. I've always argued that. Is it really not safe for kids to travel alone? Like, is it any less safe now than it was? This crime rates continually contradict that. It's safer now than it used to be. It's just if a
Yeah.
kid
I think you
disappeared or got into
have
an accident, you didn't talk about it.
is the social media effect, my friend.
Yeah.
You got this one case where something bad happens, and now every parent saw this one case, and now every town is the worst town on earth, right? So because
Yeah.
I'm telling you, stuff like this did happen before, but it stayed very local. So it's like, okay, that's it.
Yeah.
But now, something happens. Like for example, and again, now this is a horrible event, but the lady that got stabbed on the bus, right? You guys remember that? That was
Yeah.
horrible. They got the video. That was brutal. Doesn't mean that that happens on every bus in every city. It's a one-time thing, but you made it so big that now everybody's like, "Oh man, there's a problem here," right? And I'm sure that stuff happened before, but it wasn't as front and center. So I grew up in the city. There was no need to drive anywhere. You want to do something, you just go outside, and you have a entire community of kids. Like you didn't even have to go a couple of blocks anywhere. So where you grew up also makes a difference as well. We had to train, so we get anywhere in the train if we wanted to. And yeah, it was different. But now these kids, man, they set up their own play dates during the school. They're like, "Oh, can you give your mom my number?" And then they set up these schedules and everything, and it's a different world. I did not grow up in that world, that's for sure. But yeah, my kids got
It's
a bowling game, and I tell my wife, I'm like, I tell my wife that's a woman's thing, and she hates when I do that. I do that kind of on purpose to get under her skin a little bit. I'm like, that's a woman's thing. I'm not going. She's like, that's not a woman's thing. There's no such thing as a woman thing. I'm like, no, that's a woman's thing. And sometimes I go there and I get proof right. I'd be the only guy there. I'm like, you see, there's no other guys here. This is a woman's thing. I'm leaving. I'll pick you up later. But I do it to mess with her. I do it to mess with her.
But I do
it's
think,
crazy.
like you said, there is unfortunately an immediacy and a presence on social media that we
Oh
didn't
yeah,
used to get, that makes
no,
things feel more dangerous, even if they're not. Like, I
exactly.
used to,
Yeah.
like, I was just thinking, like, when I was a kid, I used to go out, and especially in the summer, like, I'd leave at dawn and I'd show up, at dusk for dinner. And my parents had no clue where I was. No clue what I was out doing. I was just out doing stuff.
Yeah,
And anyways,
I
that's
agree. Guys, we had
that's
commercials on TV to remind our parents what time it was. Remember that? Hey, it's 10 o'clock. Do you know where your kids are? Right? Because your kids were out. They were out playing. So there's a commercial reminding you, hey, you have kids. Make sure you call them inside the house. Now, we usually were just outside in the
don't
front.
forget you have
Don't
kids.
forget you have kids. You got to put them to bed. We were just out, and it was awesome. It was awesome.
That's funny.
Good times.
Well,
Good times.
anyways, it's different times. Yeah, I find it fascinating, the sensibilities and how it changes, how different it is. That's really all my comment was about. But I mean, we always talk. See, I always talk about the differences here. Like, my last name is Donnelly. There's, in my area of the world, there was a group called the Black Donnellys, and the Black Donnellys were Irish immigrants, but they basically had these feuds with people in the neighborhood, and they got so bad that they were like killing each other. And eventually, a mob went and wiped out the Donnelly clan. They just wiped them out. And because the community, got together and wiped them out, they buried it. And it wasn't like, this is like 1840s when it happened, right? Or 1840s to 1880, I think, is when they got wiped out, something like that. And anyways, and it wasn't like 100 years. It was only 100 years later, and everyone was like, it finally came to light what happened. Man. Anyway.
Oh, man.
So you just nowadays, you couldn't wipe out an entire family without hitting social media somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Hitting somebody's Ring camera, you're going to get caught. You're going to get caught.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen.
Yeah. Anyways. It's how'd we get on this topic? Anyways.
Started with your
Being
plans for the weekend.
Oh yeah.
We took a left turn
detour.
somewhere. Yeah.
Yeah.
Somewhere we took a left turn off a cliff.
Yeah.
We tend to do that once in a while.
Arguably,
Especially
that was a wrong turn, but yeah.
Yeah.
So,
it was not a right turn, so I said left. It was to the right for sure.
yeah. Yeah.
Oh man. This is what happens when the market does this, what we're seeing right here.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, just
See,
look at Netflix.
We're not getting trading.
Yeah.
We're getting frustrated. We got nothing.
Hey, that's awesome. I think Andrew, Deep Can War, I think Andrew mentioned you yesterday. So you made $21,000 in the funded account. That is awesome. And you finished it 3 months. Congrats, man. That is amazing. You get paid out 10 out of that. And I think Andrew had mentioned you yesterday. I think he was talking about you as one of the bigger winners. So congrats, great work. And I'm gonna open up my funded account to beat that. So yes.
There you go. Carlos has got an objective now. I like it.
I do. Oh
Why not?
man. But as far as the payouts, I think it's every Friday or every other Friday. So something like that. I think Andrew mentioned it yesterday. So I'll be on the lookout. They'll email you. They have your name. They have your info. And you'll get all set up through PayPal, I believe. The funded account provides you with $50,000 of buying power, $12,500 of equity. But you got to make sure you don't go below the threshold. So when you start with 12,500, you got to make sure the biggest thing is you got to trade every day, not every day, but got to trade a bit,
Right.
and you cannot fall below 10,000, right? So you got to start out trading small. Don't go out there
Right.
blowing up the account. You know,
Don't
build
go
the
crazy.
buffer. Yeah, don't go crazy. Build the buffer, and then you can start trading a little bit higher if you like. And we got a couple of great payouts. People are making 1,000, 2,000. Everybody hits the big 10, but you got some people that pay for their membership at BBT, pay
Yeah.
for the funded account. So there's some good opportunities, man.
Hey guys, good morning. How are you doing?
Good morning.
Morning,
Much better than
Andrew. How are
yesterday.
you?
I
Much
know
better than yesterday.
I had a bad day. I am not doing well at all.
Oh, no
Oh,
way.
no,
It's,
Yeah.
that's
it's,
not good.
it's a choppy day today. Let me get you in the chat.
Yeah,
One
it's
Yeah, it
pretty
was
second.
pretty choppy.
I'm pretty happy sitting on my my trades. I have two successful shorts on Tesla, and then things got choppy, and I just decided to sit back here and we'll just watch the craziness. So,
I had a bit of an issue with my computer this morning. My CPU was really maxing out and everything was really, slow. So I really had to make some adjustments to my computer. But overall, couldn't really get a nice clean breakout on any of them. Like TSLL, I tried to catch a long on it. I got a stopped out, and then another one I got a stop. Made a little profit. PLTR was really clean for the break of 138 at the open, and I got a stopped out two times on it. It still has this big order of 138, but really failed to break out. PLTR was on a daily chart was also interesting. If you could break out this level, it could have gone through even up 140, but just didn't have any momentum to go upside and just stop us out. Now I might, because now SPY it looks like it's going up, but you don't know. So I ended up the day actually negative, really negative. So it is what it is.
it is what it is.
Yeah,
Indeed.
I had a nice short on Tesla at the open, right at the open, and shorted NVDA, got a bit of a move there, and I traded this one breakout around 10 o'clock on the SPY. So I'm doing okay today. PLTR is right back testing high of day again. Are you still long, Andrew?
No, I'm not anything long anything. PLTR
Okay.
looks like it wants to go. Yeah, you have the Atlas as well.
Nice, Dave. You're in the Apple option call options and low of day. Nice.
Brian, you've always got the good trades going, don't you?
I like Tesla short at the open. It was looking weak going into the open. I always like those last
I
couple minutes, kind of a
agree.
tell on the mood of investors or at least traders right at the open there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I took that
PLTR.
as well and paid off nicely.
I think we're going to get, it's going to be kind of choppy for a while here. I don't know if we're going to break out of this range as we get into the latter part of the day. I see gold is up, silver is up.
Brian, have you ever lost
Silver trade.
money? Somebody is asking, is Brian ever lose money?
Yeah, I think I lost money. Was it last week? I lost money.
Brian's like, I lost money. It was March 12th, 1994. I remember the day.
Come on, be honest, Brian. Share us your lesson. I know some of your swing trades, you actually lost a lot of money. What was that, the penny stock that you were trading, that you were holding a
Oh
lot?
God, yeah. No, I was trading a pot stock that I lost a crap load of money on.
Like how
That
bad was
was
that?
I broke my rules. What's that?
How bad was that? It was like $50,000 or something?
It was
Yeah.
about it was about 30,000, I guess.
Get out of here. I lose $30,000 a day for you here.
I know. Well, that's I always tell people you're like Mr. Supersize. Oh yeah, no, I've lost on other trades. Uh, just by not because usually it's because I haven't been following my rules.
Well,
Wow,
that happens
Skydance.
to the best of us.
Yeah, Skydance is popping up here.
What's the
On
ticket for Skydance?
P Sky SKY PSKY.
P
I think
Sky.
Netflix
The
walked away
Paramount.
from that deal.
Wow. So what was the deal? Who was going to buy who? I know it was very
And
complex.
yeah, it was Netflix. Netflix was going to buy them, and then Paramount wanted them.
Who?
So
Netflix
they
wanted to
had a sort
buy
of a
Wasn't
Warner
that Warner Bros?
Brothers.
It was Warner
Yeah.
Brothers, right?
yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
But now they've pulled their order. They've pulled their offer, and that's why Netflix is up because usually the company that's that's acquiring is usually the one that's goes down in price. So now they're back. Netflix is back up now that they're out of the deal.
Apple is down. Yeah. Okay. So Netflix is yeah. Netflix has been on a nice run since 2022. Brian,
Yeah,
you're not coming to Egypt, but Peter, are you ready for Egypt?
I'm ready. I think so. Actually, you know what? One of the things my wife asked me is, are any shots needed to go to Egypt? I'm like, I don't know. I better look that up.
Yeah, you need like
just the usual, just the usual ones. You probably already have them.
After Colombia, I should be all set
Yeah,
up, I
if
think.
you yeah, I don't recall having to get anything special for Egypt when I went a couple years ago.
I love you, Peter. You think the rest of the world in the bucket of disease, huh? As soon as you want to come out of whatever you
Well,
want.
it's like that. That was my wife asking the question. The first thing she thinks of always is what can go wrong,
That
especially when I'm
is
bringing one of our children somewhere. And I'm like,
such a
come on, like, let's
60s
calm down.
mindset. Come on, man. Like, you think the rest of the world is the full of disease and the things. It's like
It,
2026.
you seem to not value caution. It's just, it's a reasonable question to ask. If the answer is no, then awesome. Then I
Oh,
don't have to worry
man.
about it.
I
But other
love
than
it.
that, I'm ready to go. I'm pretty excited. It looks like it's going to be an absolutely fantastic trip. So, do we have any spots left?
Yeah.
Is there anybody that it's all sold out?
No, yeah. I mean, there's no sold out. Like it's the more
Okay.
people sign up, we book more hotel and rooms. It's I don't want it to be a big group. Like
Right.
I think Colombia was too much. Like we were like 35, and
Right.
smaller groups are more fun and casual. And Thailand was different. Thailand was in a resort, so the resort is okay. You can have 100 people. But Egypt, we want to travel a lot. We want to go to museum. We want to go to shows. We want to do things, and big groups are just I don't want that. So I think it's a good number of the people, and it's more family. Like my mom is coming, my uncle is coming,
Uncle Maury's coming?
Maury is coming. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, if you want to see Egypt, this is the best trip that you can ever go because I go with my best friend. He's Egyptian, and
Yeah.
he knows all the little things. And
Yeah, he set up a pretty deluxe tour, and he says he's already actually done it. He says twice, so that's pretty cool. He knows what he's talking about.
all right, so Tesla is rolling over. Market is rolling over. I'm glad I didn't take PLTR again. Yeah, market really doesn't have momentum to the upside. I
No,
think oil is
not at
popping up.
all.
I
No,
think oil is popping up because of the
no, Tesla's
war. Like
tanking.
every Friday is people think is this gonna attack is gonna happen. Uh, because I'm sure, I mean, they usually attack in the Friday, so the market is closed until 2 days. They have the time to digest. And even in Iran, it's funny. The supreme leader during the week he comes, oh, death to America, death to America, and then the weekend he goes into the bunker, doesn't show up until Monday. Like it's just because they know that the attack is coming usually the weekends.
Hmm. Well, that's good. He's got a bunker.
Oh yeah, apparently he has a crazy bunker, like in the underground, like it's a huge tunnel facilities and everything. Like they build a city down there. So it's I can't wait until he's overthrown and then we can actually go and see all these archives and all these get access to see what's happening over there. It's like crazier than Nazis, really. Like it's just I really can't wait until we get access to all of these archives and behind the scenes that what we're doing.
Oh,
Hmm.
okay. Sounds interesting. I'm not sure
Yeah.
that I would want to go and be the first one on the ground. What if they've booby trapped the bunker?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's something that is really interesting that the system doesn't collapse. I mean, that's fascinating to me as well. Like, even Germany, like even after Hitler killed himself, they were still fighting. They officially surrendered in May 7th, like 8 days after Hitler killed himself. The system, even though it's
Hmm.
destroyed, but it's not collapsing. And in Iran, it's also very interesting that you know everybody was kind of amazed that even when Israel attacked, it really hit them really bad, and all the leaders and everything, but the system didn't collapse. And I think one of the big concerns is that even if they kill him, they still continue, the firing missiles and everything. It's very different from like Iraq. When Saddam Hussein, when they came and they attacked, the system collapsed. Really, the army really. But in Iran, I don't know how they did it. Maybe probably this ideology is in there, like very similar to Nazis. That when they put the ideology deep into the system doesn't collapse. Like people fight for something, even though they know they're gonna lose. So it's really fascinating
Hmm.
that how it works.
The people with the guns have the control.
Yeah, again, like it's not only the gun. Like for example, Syria like collapsed in one day. Like or the Afghanistan government really collapsed in
Yeah.
a few weeks. Like these systems, like
Uh,
I don't know, but
yeah.
Hamas didn't. Like 2 years
It's
in the war, like Hamas didn't. Like it's just it's very interesting.
Yeah, I think it's how much how many people just still are committed to the existing regime.
Yeah. All right, I see Thor is here. How was Vegas, Thor?
Or
It was amazing. I had so much fun in Vegas. And I think the whole moral of the story we were talking about before is if someone applies to art school, you let them into art school. You know what I mean? Because that, if Hitler had just gotten to go to art school, I think maybe he would have
Yeah,
been okay.
it would
But
Would have
they
changed
said
history.
no. They're
completely.
like, no, you're not artistic. We don't like your style. The mustache is silly, so we're not letting you in here. And then when that happened, the dude just rampaged, So I mean, if only
Yeah.
some paper mache, maybe or some knitting, a little basket weaving, maybe none of this happens. So just remember, if you're a professor at an art school, just let them in. Sorry, everybody. I know
Just
that was
let
a
him in.
horrible thing to
Uh,
say. But
yeah.
yeah, man, Vegas was amazing. Money show was amazing. We had so much fun up there. I mean, it was incredible. We brought Andrew in on the main stream, even though poor guy, like despite like the guy like just doing everything he can to like get at it was a conspiracy, I think, honestly.
Yeah, I was thinking that it was not meant to be. Like honestly, after things happened, like Brian and I were in Sunday, and it got canceled. I got rescheduled for the same flight next day. I said, okay, all right. I was going to spend one day with you guys, but okay, I'll make it. Brian was in the morning, and then his flight got canceled again, and then he was rescheduled again, and then he got there late in the afternoon, and then they canceled my flight again, and then rebooked me for something that I was getting to Vegas at 2 a.m. So I'm not gonna make 2 a.m. and then I have to wake up 5 a.m. to do that. Like it was really it was a conspiracy, I think, by the universe that no, you're not gonna go there.
Yep. I mean, it's what happens, man. So, but we still got him in on the stream and everyone had a fun time. Then we broke into a QA with Brian and I, and we still got our commune
Yeah.
on, although we were missing our
Yeah.
rock star, but otherwise it was good.
Perfect. Well,
Now,
thank you so
No,
much.
it was great.
did John ever make it? Wasn't John supposed to go down to
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
Vegas?
John was there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
John was
John,
there.
I
He
saw
did
John
make
for
it.
about 2 minutes. Yep, he was there somewhere. I think he
Okay.
was at the Horseshoe most of the time.
No, he was at Casino Royale
Oh, sorry, Casino
where they have,
Royale. Sorry.
yeah, where they have the
Boy.
cheap, the $2 craps tables. Him and Mike, him and
Okay.
Mike were, him and Mike were hitting throwing the dice.
And the big
Okay.
buffet, right? They got the cheap buffet and the
Yeah.
$2 tables.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
But no,
Okay.
it was a good trip. Yeah, no, I told people after the second cancellation, and yeah, people were saying to me, "Man, there's yeah, the world is telling you this isn't not to go.
Yeah.
Somebody's somebody's
Seems
sending you a
clear.
message."
So Brian, someone was asking how long you've been trading. I'll answer this. He's actually he started trading on papyrus actually back in the
That's right.
Yeah,
pyramid times in
You
Egypt.
was
Brian actually
remember?
invented trading, believe it or
Did you?
not, back in the Dojima Rice Exchange in Japan,
The
yeah, the
back in
rice.
the
Yeah,
early 18.
yeah,
tulip
the
bulb collapse of
yeah,
1600.
I
That was
traded that.
Brian.
Yeah, he was
Yeah,
all there. It was all
yeah,
there. It
Yeah.
was like the original Wall Street bets, actually.
Yeah.
all at the universe.
Brian did
Yeah,
the whole thing.
yeah, yeah. It was just yeah, the tulip. That was my first foray uh
Yeah. That was the first
into
time he
hot
shorted the
mania
market.
sectors.
And
Yeah,
All right,
top
guys, I
sector
gotta
mania.
sign it
all
off.
right,
See you Monday, guys. Thank you so much.
All
Okay,
see you,
right.
boss.
Thanks, Andrew.
see everybody.
Hey, you
Have a
too.
good
Good
one.
to
Have
see
a great
All
everybody.
weekend,
right.
everyone. Cheers.
You too, Brian. And it was great trading with you, man,
Yep.
and
Yeah,
and
great
doing
to
what
see
we
you
do,
again
man. It
there,
was so
Thor.
much fun.
Love it, man.
Always,
Yeah,
man.
lots of fun.
We had some
Yeah,
drinks. We had some
you
fun.
did. Yeah.
It was a
Hey,
blast.
that was
And
awesome.
I'm gonna
Good to
share my
see
screen
you
if
all
I
as
can figure out
always.
how. Always good to see the prophet, hang out with the prophet of profit. Hey, thank you so much, everybody, and good to see you all. My apologies for being a little absent. So I have been in the money show. So I was out all week. And I had to travel there and travel back. We were having a good time at the money show. I presented on trading futures, also helped do the live trading event, and then had a whole lot of fun. I have to admit, probably the most fun I've had in a week. And like there was a point in time during the week where I started to like kind of do one of these, like, am I allowed to have this much fun? So I mean, it was pretty awesome. So I ate at some of the best restaurants I've ever eaten at. and I went to the best concert I've ever gone to. I had a spontaneous moment, everybody. I was landing, and as I landed, I looked over to the left, and Def Leppard was in concert, playing in Caesar's Palace, and I was like, I've never seen Def Leppard in concert, and I'm like, so we might as well do this, right? So I went on there and got some tickets. And so check it out. Ready? You want to see where my seat was? Check this out. I mean, come on, like, I mean, Caesar's Palace, baby. I mean, look at this place, right? No, actually, the guy that was standing next to me actually got high five. Look at this. Throws a high five right there. I mean, we were so close. Oh, Micro Bitcoin likes Def Leppard. Let's go. Right? So, we got to hang out. I mean, the stage was just amazing. I mean, it was mind-blowing, right? So one of the things you got to make sure you do, right, is if you have the opportunity to do these things, you have to. You have to go do it, right? So yeah, I know. Micro Bitcoin hates Def Leppard apparently. So I'm just gonna play the whole soundtrack right now. Let me pull up Spotify real quick, right? So I'm short Micro Bitcoin, and I've been short. So I only had two calls today, YM and Micro Bitcoin. I actually liked both calls. YM looked really good. The volume actually looked really good. I'm not sure why I didn't take it actually. I think because the opening candle was so strong, I was just waiting to see a buy. Like something really nice and strong to show. Like if this candle maybe it had more absorption on it, it just didn't seem like it was quite ready. So I looked at Micro Bitcoin though, and Micro Bitcoin was just barely even buying at all up at this premium level. So I went ahead and gave this one a try. So I've just been holding this all day. So I only risked about 300 on this one. But if it works, I'm going to go for ATR low, so I should still make a couple grand. But it just hasn't really yeah, it's not been a really strong day for the calls. I think NQ was super close to being a good call. If it had wicked a little bit lower, I might have given this a try, but it opened in the wrong spot for a good call. I actually think by the end of the day, I likely think we end up kind of back down to where we already are. But anyway, so real quick housekeeping. If you are so inclined, if you could take a moment and please smash that like button, just throw some likes on there. One of the things that's really important for if you like these funded accounts, right, and you like doing all this other stuff, we got to keep this channel around and keep it healthy and keep it going, and we're only going to do that with lots of Peter emojis and lots of thumbs ups. So you do that, and then I will answer all of your questions every single day from 11 to 12, right? Whenever I'm here, obviously. But I think our guy Nathan was in here, right? So let's do that. See, around the world, that's because you're better than most people, and I'm willing to say it. So that's awesome. Thank you so much. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you so much. All right, everybody. So for me, I'm finding this current month to be a little bit challenging. How about the rest of you? Are any of you all having trouble with this month? Like I had a really strong, thank God I had like 2 or 3 really strong days at the beginning of the month that basically made my month. But other than that, I've been having a really difficult month, right? Great month, good for damn right, boring day trader. I'm jealous. I have found it very challenging. So when I look at I think to start, let's look at the monthly chart. So if you're kind of looking at the monthly chart here, I think maybe we can already get an idea of what's going on. So look from 23 to 24, every single month, other than one little period in here, we had nice big candles movement. I mean, that's a pretty good year, right? And even in this time period, we had 2 or 3 months with just massive moves and then really big candles. But look at the last few months. Let me get rid of all of this drawn stuff here. Look at the last few months. 1, 2, 3, 4 months now of almost barely moving on NQ. You have a ticker that went from having maybe a close to an 800, 800, ATR to a ticker that's now running about a 300 ATR or a 400 ATR. So our market is contracting and compressing right now, and it's doing it on declining volume. So we're in a consolidatory cycle, right? And we're stuck. This isn't a bear market. It's not a bull market. This is what we kind of call a kangaroo market. I don't know if anyone's ever heard that. But every now and again, you have a few days, like, so look right here, here, and here, right? You have these time periods every so often where you will get lateral movement for 2 or 3 months in a row on the market. And then it's like right here, right? And this causes these little periods where things can be a little bit more challenging. So the reason why I wanted to talk about this today is because for anyone who's struggling a little bit, I don't want you to think it's you, right? Sometimes it's not actually a performance issue. Sometimes the market's just not very good for what it's doing right now, right? So and if we try and continue to force bigger moves on times when the market's not really moving, right, things are going to get really difficult, right? And Brian, thank you. So for me, the reason that has saved me, like yesterday, I got a really nice short on Netflix yesterday, right? But I've really just been leaned back into my pivot calls. Like today, micro Bitcoin for me is the only call that I've had all day, right? Tell that to your wife. I gladly bring her on. Bring her to the computer. I'll say it again. So So I will not tell your wife that size doesn't matter, if that's what you were looking for. We're not gonna say that one. But yeah, I could say it's a bit of a thing. I have found that my sector rotation plays in longer time frame. Nice, Melanie. Exactly. We've seen a lot of really good trend plays working today. I am funny today. This is true. I slept like 7 hours last night. Right. I feel amazing. I was jet lagged 90% of Vegas. But man, have any of you been to Hell's Kitchen? Oh my God. I mean, this place. I went to Hell's Kitchen. I went to this restaurant called this one I'll show you because this one's pretty cool. It's called Zuma. Zuma. Here it is. I want to show you this. It's called Zuma, and I had a Japanese old fashioned at Zuma. See how they have their name embossed in the ice? Notice how the ice is not perfectly square. The reason it's not perfectly square is because that block of ice is cut off of a really large block of ice that gets flown in from like Mount Fuji. So they actually fly in special ice for their drink. Anything is possible, right? Like anything is possible in this world. I was so inspired Oh, see, look, micro Bitcoin's coming back up. Hold on. Let's see if it's Def Leppard that makes them sell off. Hold on. We're going to find out. You're right. Isn't that cool? I mean, it's so cool. Right. So hold on. I think we need. All right, Bitcoin. Let's see if they hate it. I love freaking Def Leppard. Are they not awesome? If it drops, we're playing Def Leppard for the rest of the show. Yeah, I have a really. So have you seen my microphone? Look at the noise canceling setup I have on this thing. It's a giant a pop filter that my microphone is sitting inside of. So because my daughter is special needs and she's so loud all the time, I had to really invest. So I have a really good quality Rode microphone. And then I have this it's this egg basically that goes around at this big sphere that's made out of it. So and it's so yeah, it's a lot trying to make it because my daughter like will just she's nonverbal, and when she's happy, when she's sad, it doesn't matter. She's just loud. So London Zuma was a regular stop. That's awesome, man. I like me some Zuma. It was amazing, but that ice, I mean, I just don't even know, right? Like it was so amazing. Ah, Hood was a good call today. We had an alert on Hood today that worked pretty well. NVIDIA is stuck with the queues right now. Netflix is weird because Netflix had the deal break. They decided to pull out of that deal. I forget who it was with, Time Warner or one of those. So when they pulled out of that, there was actually a very positive reaction to Netflix when that happened. So that's fun. Paramount. Thank you, Paramount. Bitcoin still being annoying. Deal was Warner Brothers. So what? So yeah, it was Time Warner. Now Paramount is the buyer. Oh, I see. So the deal is with Paramount. They were going to do Time Warner. Got it. Got it. So it actually has a potential as being a R6 short, but it never got up there. So not a lot today. But yeah, so things have been pretty slow towards the end of the month. So, it was actually a perfect time to go do money show. I had a couple days where I didn't even trade because of the traveling. So it was pretty sweet. But if we get a call or something that comes up later, I mean, there's still some potential calls out there lingering, but right now nothing's really happening. Like we overblew S4 right at the open on Apple. I would have loved an R3 short. Amazon had potential today, but it never made it to S4, so I couldn't call it. Google had potential today, but again, same thing. Google could be a lower range short at R3 potentially if we get a little bit higher. Right. My current position on Netflix is actually to leave it alone. I don't think Netflix provides a good trade today. So Netflix has its news, and that certainly, but I mean, it basically exhausted its buying right at the open or in the pre-market. After that, we had a hard sell, and that has basically just thrown this thing into balance. So I could look at the book though. We look a little bullish on it though. Oh, the aggregate's working. Cool. Good job, guys. It automatically switches the aggregate when you zoom out. Fantastic. So you can see we're a little bullish. Oh, Carlos, I have no idea. I'm a day trader. I'm not very fundamentally minded, so I really don't pay that much attention to those things. So I would hate to advise you on that because that would be I think I'd be speaking a little bit. Oh, Tesla looks like it wants to go down. Look how bearish Tesla's order book is right now. Oh yeah. And we're selling too. Tesla looks like it wants to sell off. So you can see here we have large order structure to the downside on Atlas. So, but the main thing is the lack of orders to the top side. You know, it's very empty up here, so it doesn't look like there's any demand from sellers here to the top side. So right now, this order book, it looks like they're about to run to 400. So that'd be a movement back to low of day. So be careful if you're thinking about being long here, because I think it's going to go down. One of the advantages to using Atlas is that, right? So if you think about it this way, let's talk a little bit about Atlas. We can like, you know, maybe because I don't really have a lot of videos out there for it, but I can talk to you about it right here, El Patron. So yeah, a bunch of styles. I'm always going to try. Now, I mean, is it possible we could bounce here and not go hit the order? That is also possible, right? So there's three major elements to the order book that we have to have awareness of. One is the order structure, right? The other one is the amount of the order structure to the downside, the order structure like overall. Oh, actually, it's really just two major things we have to be considered about, the order structure and then the placement of the market orders. So what the dots are the dots are market orders, right? So any of the lines are limit orders. You need market orders to fill limit orders, right? So we have to buy them. When we have buys and sells, those get shown here. Right. So what we have though is if you look on the book across the top and the bottom, we have a bearish order structure. Now, the reason we say that is because there are more limit orders placed regularly in a good ladder to the downside to this big order at 400. Right? Since market makers make money doing transactions, this is showing a lack of demand to the top side. And without demand, we're not going to have movement. Right? So what we're going to likely do is we're going to go where the demand is, right? Which is these big orders to the downside, right? So that's why I'm saying Tesla right now looks like it wants to sell. It doesn't mean it is, but there's very little order structure to the top at all right now, like very, very empty up here and lots of order structure to the downside. So as I zoom in a little bit more, you can kind of see that even more. So right? We have this big order at 401 and then a big order at 400. But to the top side, very little orders to the top side. So it looks like this. And now with the buy orders, you can see all of our red orders are being allowed to move to the book, but all of our green orders are stagnant. Anytime we have a green order, our price is going sideways, but our red orders actually move us down. So it also would insinuate that anytime the market is buying, the specialist is offloading float into the buyers. And if that's the case, that's more instance that we want to go down. So, but you can see right here, very little order structure to the top side, really heavy order structure to the downside. So it looks like it wants to sell off. Now that's right now. Obviously, we could have what's called a market structure shift or a book flip, where they could decide to start doing a different thing. And then in which case you'll start to see more orders come into the top, and then they'll start buying up those orders. But right now, like even that's a big dot. That should really move the price, but it didn't. It just stuck. So even when I'm seeing big green dots, I'm not seeing us moving up the book. I'm just seeing them hitting in place. So again, it gives it that kind of that weak feel for me. Hey, Ali, welcome to Lambos and Garbage Trucks. It is nice to have you with us. You now have the ability to send Thor, Peter, and Carlos emojis, which is always really fun. No, I never trade without a cam call. My cam system is my anchor. So the Atlas is a part of like the win, right? It's a part of the win, right? Like, so whenever you're trading, you need a where, a when, and a how. My cams give me a where, but it doesn't give me a win, right? So, and it doesn't give me necessarily a how, right? How is risk management, how you enter, how you hold, how you exit, right? Where is where you're looking to get in and out of a trade. So Atlas would not give me a where. I mean, you could technically scalp large orders, right? Either movement to them or movement off of them, right? But if you want to get bigger and larger moves, then then we would do that, right? You're use the book to incentivize that. Oh boy. What's the hashtag Thor, Carlos? What are we giving?
Funded account. Funded account.
So,
giveaway.
ooh,
Yes.
funded account giveaway. This is fun. So hashtag Thor for a funded account giveaway.
Yeah, and man, your chances are good. 26 entries only. That's good.
Oh, very nice. How many? We only have 26 people right now who are interested in a funded account.
There's more waking up now. There we go. 50, 51. It's climbing.
Maybe they just thought it was for mentoring with me. They're like, meh, not interested in that crap. Oh,
No,
funded. Let's do this.
Or worst case, if you're delayed, please hit live on the YouTube, because that happens sometimes too. People are delayed a couple of seconds or minutes. Make sure you're hitting live on YouTube and X.
Yeah, and you get an advantage if you're a Lambo and garbage truck person, right? Don't you get like?
Well, actually, it's only for Lambos and garbage trucks.
So this is only for Lambos and garbage trucks.
Yes. Kind of like a little thank you for being part of the community. Here on YouTube.
That's so cool. We're not saying you're better. We're just saying we're going to treat you better, which I like this. You might be better. I mean, it's okay. So we'll wait a minute. Let's give everyone a good chance here to spin this tape. It's kind of fun when
I have
they get like this.
some books as well. I got some new books from Andrew that I'm going to give out next week also. So we'll do that. We could do this for everybody as well. So, all right, I think we're ready. 95 entries.
All right, 95 entries. Now we're talking.
Yeah, if you stuck around and waited for Thor, you are in. If you left early, womp, womp, womp.
You're out.
All right, let's go here. The winner for today is 3, 2, 1 goes to Tyra Adams. Congratulations, Q7N.
Nice.
Tyra
Adams.
Congrats.
Yeah.
Send me an email, carlos@bearboottraders.com, and we'll get you all set up.
Congratulations, Tyra. Look at that. That's pretty fun. That was fun, everybody. Thank you. Got us some likes going there. I appreciate it. Thank you for the likes. I mean, there's like 500 of you watching, and we've got, like 370 likes. So I'm not sure how that works, but maybe it's our bots. We need new bots, like ones that actually like when they're watching.
It's the earlier people that probably have checked out, either went to work or whatever, started their weekend early. Hopefully they made money and just say, you know what, we're done. let me walk away before I give it back. Hopefully that's the reason.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Yeah. So back on Tesla here, because I thought it was a nice example, right, of watching, because we could learn a little bit about Atlas while Tesla's doing its thing. One thing I want to ask them for is the ability to make this box smaller. I really just don't need like all that real estate taken up by this order. I think if it was like half the size, it would probably be fine. So, or have the ability to, like, I should be able to grab it and make it like smaller, like, or something. But anyway, I'll send him a message on that. So, but so you can see kind of what's going on with Tesla now. So you see, because I want you to be able to read, because especially for those of you. So how many people in here are trading options regularly? Like, because I noticed you'd said puts. So how many? So I'm sure a lot of you are trading options regularly. Right. So one of the things that you have to really worry about, right, with options is your decay, right? Your burn time. So especially if you're trading 0 DTE, right? So this is one of the things that's really important too. So if you're going to trade a put, or if you're going to go long, you know what I mean? Then you're not going to want a long with order structure like this, because what's going to happen is you're going to get stuck. Even if it is a long, you're going to get stuck at the price for too long. And the longer you get stuck at the price, the more you're going to burn, right? It's going to become inherently less invaluable because you have both a price-based expiry and you're at 0 DTE, right? So you're expiring today, and so you're literally just decaying like crazy. So if you're ever stuck moving laterally for more than, a certain amount of time, you should really be looking at trimming those positions quickly, right? Because one of the things I've noticed with a lot of my traders that are doing options is that a lot of the times they get a good move, but it takes it 6 hours. And by the time it gets there, it actually just doesn't make any money because you've already burned it, right? So we got to be really careful with that. One of the reasons I like futures, right, is because it's our front month is running 1 month, 2 months, sometimes even 3 months out at a time. So it can sit and hold, and you really don't have any premium decay, right? But you can still get leverage. But it just depends, bunch of styles. I mean, I'll be straightforward. Like options offer, I think, the lowest barrier to entry to leverage in the market, right? Like, so they're very good for that, right? So you can definitely get in and make good money on options without having a ton of capital to put in on the process, right? Futures are very similar to options to that, but maybe not quite as efficient, right? But I mean, like if you're trading, like for instance, micro futures, and the thing to start looking at, the other thing to start looking at is we will likely have single stock futures in May, right? CME already announced that they plan on releasing single stock futures in May. So when that happens, that's going to provide a lot of opportunity for equity plays on futures. Right. But, and I agree with what Ravi's saying here. The other thing you have to do is, options have massive potential in them, but it requires you to really know your shit. Like I never did options because I found options too complicated for me to be able to regularly trade. Going to the chain, picking which one I wanted, and then we start talking about condors and and all of this other stuff. I mean I conceptually understand what it is, but by the time I got through it and figured it all out, I'm gonna end up sitting at my desk for like 10 hours a day trying to make that figure out. And really when I came. Right, nothing will toast an account as fast as options, that's for sure. When I came into the market, my daughter was going through some horrible meltdowns. Like most of you know, my daughter is autistic and nonverbal, and so she was going through a really horrible time period while I was learning to trade. So I really I wasn't looking for a job to replace my job. I was looking for an alternative stream of revenue, right? Like I just, so I've never really considered myself like a quote unquote trader, in the concept that I'm sitting around every day at a computer looking for trades. Like that's my goal is to isolate like one quick opportunity or two quick opportunities, leverage it properly, and then be done. Like my micro Bitcoin trade I'm in today. I've just been holding this same trade all day. And this it is a challenge, a bunch of styles. Especially since I don't get very much help from my from their mother. It puts a lot of burden on me, but I'm very blessed. I was able to hire her I was able to hire I got a therapist that comes in-house and works with her daily now. So like actually they're out right now. They just left to go out and they're gonna go do some shopping, and I think they're gonna go to Bass Pro Shops or something like that. So it's gonna be a lot of fun. But I love my baby girl. So but she's my forever baby. Because she's always gonna be around. She's always gonna need care. So which is cool. So bunch of styles. I think so I don't know if it's because I'm a Cancer, I'm a water sign. But I have always been known for my patience and my ability to sit in, discomfort, I guess, and just deal with things. Um getting my daughter's medications, since she's nonverbal, for instance, took months of careful dialing in and out and trying to figure things in and out and stuff like that. So, I mean, but I think that's why when I trade the way I trade, because I'm much better at getting into a position and sitting in a position for long periods of time than I am at getting in and out of positions very quickly. I'm very okay with um, we call it like suffering, basically. Like I'm okay with sitting inside the suffering of trading. But it's yeah. So I have two kids, 14-year-old boy, 13-year-old girl, and thank you. And they are my purpose, right? So trying to provide them as good of a life as I possibly can. So that's what we do. Thank you, everybody. Sweet words. So it's a really interesting part of this aspect, right? Is the really fun part about this aspect, and why I became a trader, was because I didn't want to have to make money every day or worry about making money every day. I didn't want a full-time job. I wanted to be able to sit down and in a couple of hours, like again today, if I wasn't on YouTube today, this micro Bitcoin trade would just be sitting there and just working all day. I could be out doing anything right now. I could be going for a run. I could be hanging out with my kids. I've had some days where my daughter has a doctor's appointment. So I put my trade's on, and now I can go off and go look around and go do a doctor's appointment. You know what I mean? So how long does it take to be a full-time day trader? So if I could piggyback off of what I said, I don't think the goal should ever to be a full-time day trader. I think your goal should be to make enough income that you don't have to do other work anymore. Does that resonate a little bit? Like the thing I don't like about being the concept of being a full-time day trader is that implies that you're going to be doing this for 4 hours a day, 5 hours a day. And what happens is your opportunities will mostly all be within the first hour or so for entries, right? And then as the day goes on, those probabilities become less and less and less over time, right? So you really want to get your trading done within the first couple of hours. And if you don't have a good trade, or if you lose, just stop trading and come back tomorrow. Most of the time you will find if you're having prolonged losses or significant drawdown, it's because you're over trading. And over trading really sucks, because the more you trade, you get into a less viable time period where you're less likely to have longer movements. So you're going to get lots of pullbacks, lots of retests, lots of chop, right? So your best trades are going to come within the first couple hours of the day most of the time, right? So it's really important to kind of stay focused on that as you're doing these things, because again, one of the things I think we do by mistake at times right? Is that we try and keep trading, hoping that we're going to get, and hope being the operative word, hoping that we're going to overcome, more loss or something like that, or get back money we've already lost and stuff like that. And you're exhausted, right? Things are going down. So like there are very few traders that I know, and I'll give a little shout out to my dog, Chris MC, because he's actually one of them. There are very few traders I know but I do know some, so I'm not saying it's impossible. There are very few traders, however, that I know that consistently make money doing what I would consider more high frequency trading. Right? So because it's, because in order to be able to trade like that, you have to be incredibly good at reading price direction, which I find most people, including myself, aren't. Right? So this is why I like using things like order books and ranges, because the order book, like on this is still Tesla book, I think, right? The order book on Tesla here, right, is still very, very bearish. So I'm not going to long against this book. Right? So I already know what I'm not going to do on Tesla. I'm certainly not going to be longing Tesla. Right? So and then you come to Tesla and look what Tesla's doing. Right? I told you it was going down, right? It went up a little up, but that doesn't mean we're not going down. Right? This is a pullback, or they're just coming up to an ask, but the structure's to the downside. They want to go down. Right? So, and this is one of those things you need to be careful. And if you look at my buying and selling detector, we are clearly selling right now on light sell volume. Right? So we're selling more than we're buying through this consolidatory cycle, and our order book is heavy. This thing's going down. This is why I advised you probably cut that position. Right? Or cut that long, because this doesn't look like a long right now. Right? So let's check out NVIDIA. But Chris is one of the few guys I know that consistently makes money, because he's a G, like scalping. So I love that the aggregator is working. So for me, this book is actually has a lot of balance to it. Right? I see good orders to the top side and to the downside. I'd say it looks a little more bearish than bullish right now. And I'm saying that because our green dots are being absorbed. They're not going up onto the book. And they're not being put onto the ask either. So it looks like, and then our laddering is much better down to 175 than it probably, and then we have orders at 170. But we have a lack of structure up to 190. So for me, I would be bearish on this one right now. Did someone start playing Def Leppard? Good, get it done, kid. Yeah, not too much, Chris, but I'm okay if you do the occasional, man. You know I support you and love you. So just as long as you're not talking more than me, I think we're fine. You consistently make money. I do consistently make money, thank God. But it took it. So sorry, get back to how long for the day trading. So first off, I would say the goal should be to just make money, not necessarily have a full-time job. So now that I made that distinction, this really depends on how much time you put into learning the craft of trading. Right? So for some people, like if you have a full-time job while you're learning trading, it's probably going to take you 5 years, maybe 6 years. Like if you're, I just want to be honest, right? If you're, because I hate misleading people and telling you this is a quick rich scheme, because it's not. It took me 8 years or 9 years before I started making really good money. Right? I averaged maybe 70 grand a year, 60 grand a year, which thank God I live in Florida, right? But I probably only averaged 60 grand to 70 grand a year for the first 5 to 6 years of my trading. Right? So I didn't just start I've gone in the past 2 years, I've gone from that to significantly better in this past year. But it's only been in this past year, right, that things have really started to push up. So yeah, right. So, and I want to say that, right? If you have, when I say full-time job, for instance, like let's say you're a stay-at-home mom or a stay-at-home dad and you have kids, right? Kids are a full-time job, right? So if you're trying to raise 2 children or 3 children at the same time you're trying to trade, that's going to also take a similar amount of effort, right? So it really depends on how much time. Like if you have, now let's say you're retired, right? And you have quit your job, you really have no stress over the money. So you can just kind of jump right in and really focus on everything for like 5 hours a day, and you've got the mental wherewithal. Well, that might not be the same for you. You might, or like I've had someone I've worked with that was a real estate person. They made a really good chunk of money with some real estate, and they decided they were going to just retire, and they wanted to start trading so that they could just stay awake and have fun and do some different things. That person learned to trade in like 6 months because they could literally just spend all their time focusing on learning how to read the order book, learning how to read volume, learning how to read charts, all of the fundamental stuff. It should take you 6 months to a year just to learn fundamentally how to trade, right? Then after that, you know what I mean? Then you still have to develop a system that you're going to use or adopt somebody else's and integrate it into your style, right? And then you have to, now that you know what to do, you have to do it enough to really prove it to yourself that it works, right? So days, I think it's important to go there too, right? We also have to remember that not everybody is rubbing the same 2 sticks together. You know what I mean? So things like intellectual intelligence, and really over that, can I use a term here that I think is really important? Emotional intelligence. I actually find women, because they on average, and I'm just speaking about on average, I find that women generically do better in trading than men in a shorter period of time due to their higher average emotional intelligence, right? Women are generically more capable of being self-reflective and making adjustments without ego, where like I know my initial problems that I had in the beginning was bag holding, right? I wouldn't be willing to be wrong. So I would just hold positions that I hoped would work, and I could never really get out of that, right? So it was very important to me over time, right, that I really had to fix it. Now, luckily, hey, Dan, I will say that I was raised by a single mother, right? And I was raised by a single mother who was part of a matriarchal family, right? So my grandmother was a very big part, and then my grandmother's mother was a big part of the family. So I think for a male, I run fairly high on the emotional intelligence side of things, right? So for me, I think my number one, and this is why I think I'm much better than a lot at sitting in discomfort, right? Because I can differentiate what is just uncomfortable versus what is working or not working. Where not being comfortable makes you want to do something, and that is an inherently male trait, right? So men throughout history have done great a many things, right? Because they were not comfortable, right? Back throughout history, a lot of the things that have occurred, right? We're hungry, so we will take care of that, right? We need shelter, so we will take care of that. We're always making some adjustment due to the lack of comfort. But in stock trading, and this is why we're naturally suck at this, in stock trading, you actually have to be able to sit in discomfort for very long periods of time in order to be good at it. Stock trading is an emotional Olympics, right? And it is the number one trait you should be working on as you're developing your technical ability is actually being able to sit in discomfort and do the things you say you're going to do the way you say you're going to do them when you say you're going to do them, right? If you can't do that, you're not going to make it as a trader, right? So if you're just not going to make it, if you cannot follow rules, right? And then there's some things in there you have to put in there, which is your personality. Like, are you someone who's naturally a rule breaker, right? Everyone has 2 kids. One of them's the rule follower and one's the rule breaker, and they both come from the same set of parents, right? So it's like, I'm not really sure how this happens, but it always happens. You've always got the one and the other, right? So you have to really pay attention to that, right? Because if you're a natural rule breaker, you might be, right? You're gonna have trouble, right? Oh no, you're the bad one though. But if you're a natural rule breaker, here's my point. Let's say you drive up to a red light, you park at the red light. There's no red light camera, there's no cop around, there's nothing going around. You're sitting at the red light. The red light's been red for 5 minutes. Do you go through the red light anyway, or do you take a right turn, go down to the next road or the next pass where you can make a U-turn and then come back and make a right turn? Right? Oh, I didn't realize that Koreans were so rule breakery. That's fun. So now there are some rules out there that you say you can treat it as a four-way stop if there's no cars coming, right? But depends on that. But I use that concept because for instance, when I was a kid, I still remember this. Okay, this is how rule follower I am, right? I would have taken a right turn, U-turn, and then taken a right turn, is my point. Right. But like I remember when I was a kid, we went to a Home Depot because I was buying a little button that I was using for this. I was building an electrical circuit for this. I made this big like aircraft carrier thing, and it was a GI Joe aircraft carrier that you built and put together. Right. I was born in Japan, Dan, so maybe that's where my rule comes from. I didn't grow up there though, but maybe because I was born there, I just took it. And I wanted to wire it with lights, and I wanted a little switch for it, right? So I went to Home Depot, we got the wire, we got the stuff, but I didn't remember I'd actually just put the switch in my I was born in Tachikawa. Yeah, the GI Joe carrier, right? And I wanted to put it on there. Well, we got home and I realized I had left it in my pocket. I stole that button. And oh my God. Like I lost it. My parents had to get me right in the car. We had to drive right back to Home Depot and we had to go right in there. I apologized to the manager for stealing it accidentally. And then we paid for it and left. Right? So this just kind of shows you what you're dealing with. Right? So this just shows you, yeah, I was a military brat for the record, but I was born off base, so I am a Japanese citizen before an American one, right? So my birthday is actually when I celebrate my birthday, I actually celebrate it on the wrong day, because my birthday in Japan is a different day than my birthday today. But yeah, so I actually have a Japanese birth certificate, and but from two military parents. But my mother was a medical nurse for the Air Force. And the facilities, way to go USA, the facilities on base were not to her standards. So I was born in Tachikawa because that's where the best birthing center at the time was. And she still till this day raves about how amazing her experience was at that particular center. I don't know if I qualify now, but I mean I probably could apply. Aha, konnichiwa. For sure, my friend. But yeah. Yep. System's still up to date on the book. Ashish. I started 6 after my third child. My fourth child is 6 months now. I have 9, 8, 4, and 6. Jesus, Nana. Like, make them stop. Let you know, like no means no. Like, wow. 4. I mean, let's go. You got a couple more, you got yourself a bunch. But I mean, I'm just saying, like, wow. I mean, I'm impressed. Jesus. Woo. Uh, But I mean, so think about that though, Nana. I mean, you're, you're dealing with a lot, right? Raising babies is, I mean, that's, as far as I'm concerned, it is one of the most difficult jobs ever. And I know a lot of people go, oh, but it's something we've been doing since the turn of blah, 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 blah. Guess what? It's been difficult the whole time, right? Like just because something's been around for a long time doesn't mean it wasn't just difficult the whole time, right? It's hard, especially if you do it right. Right now, there are people who don't do it right, and I guess maybe for them, right, maybe it's not so much. But for most of the people who are doing it right, it is what it is. And mine were autistic. Exactly, bunch of styles. And mine were on the spectrum. My son is actually on the very light side, more on the burger side, but he's amazing. But as a teenager, he's posing to be really interesting as a teenager because he doesn't really have like he doesn't really understand what you call second tier jokes and sarcasm. So he has a lot of trouble because a lot of, when you're in that age range, the types of jokes you encounter are a little bit more complicated. This is why, like, kids generically like a lower sense of humor, but since the spectrum is a developmental delay, my son, even though he's 14, hasn't really developed like a good grasp of sarcasm and like second tier jokes. So think Sheldon Cooper on Big Bang Theory, right? So Sheldon Cooper on Big Bang Theory is a perfect example of a high level functioning autistic, right? So which my son is a high level functioning autistic. So insanely smart, right? My son can already code in 2 languages, right? He can code, he's coding video games in 2 different coding languages. Right. He is acing math, acing science, acing language. I mean, the kid's getting all A's, some B's, but he's insanely literal. Right. So if you go up to him and you're trying to be sarcastic and you're like, oh yeah, great day, he'll assume you just mean a great day. He'll be like, oh, awesome, high five. And you're like, no, 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 no. I meant like great day. And he'll just look at me like, why did you say great day then? Because if it's not a great day, why wouldn't you just say, ugh, shitty day? And I'm like, yeah, but that's not what we do. Anyway. So if you're dealing with learning to trade and you're dealing with it in that kind of an environment, right? I think the answer to that is it's gonna be your own individual timeline. I really do not believe that there is a quantifiable metric that I can throw down that says if you do these things, you will learn to trade in this time. Because every trader here is also on some kind of a spectrum, right? You have different emotional intelligence, you have different life experience, right? You have different financial ability, right? You can be a lot shitty of a trader if you have a really big bank account, right? Because you can take you can have if you have a $500,000 account with 4 times leverage, so you're getting $2 million worth of buying power, right? Then you can make money off of a 0.1% or a 0.2% move, right? So you can, or 0.3% move. You don't need 1%. But if you have a $25,000 account and you get, what's 1% of 25,000, right? Like $250. Right. So if you're trying to get a percent out of that account every day, your only hope should be like maybe to make $250. But someone has a $25,000 account and they're expecting to make 3 or 4 or 5% a day. You know what I mean? It's not really reasonable. Right. So if you're comparing yourself to a trader that has a $10 million account and you're expecting the same kind of a result with a $25,000 account, you're not really weighing properly what's going on here. Right? You can't lose as many trades. You can't partial, right? When you have a $25,000 account, you can't afford to partial, right? Because now you're talking about making $100 a day, right? So you have to be able to get into positions and just hold positions when you have a smaller one, unless you're practicing to have a bigger account, And that's a big issue that hangs up a lot of people. They're practicing to have a bigger account, but they're never going to have a bigger account, or at least they won't for a very long time. So you should be practicing methodologies that work on smaller accounts, right? And those, unfortunately, are going to be longer held positions, right? Because the most efficient way to make money on a smaller account, and this is why swing trading is often very enjoyable for smaller accounts, right? Because you can hold positions for days or weeks in order to get the money you want to get out of them, right? But unfortunately, swinging is very sensitive to economic news. So you have to be more on your game, right? So this is very, very important to set your expectations properly for what you have. If you're not going to have a $200,000 or a $300,000 account, then you should not expect the returns that kind of an account will get. So it is noon, people. Back in and hot from Vegas. I hope you all had a great time this session. Make sure to like, subscribe, please share on your social media and get this channel out here. I'll be here all next week. Looking forward to a great time with you, more giveaways. So much love, everybody, and I'll talk to you soon. Keep it green, people.